If you're ever stopped at a railway crossing and the signals are flashing and you don't see the train, or it looks like it's moving slow and you're thinking maybe you could get across the tracks before the train comes, think about this. In 2018 alone, 270 people were killed at railroad crossings. 270! Stop! Trains can't.
Hello, it's Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. It's me, Brad. It's Jason. It's
Hey.
Ben. It's Jan.
Hi. Hello,
it's
I'm
Jeff.
down here.
Hi there.
It's a Bombcast.
It is.
Welcome.
Sure is.
Now that we're all here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Seated.
Sorry I was late.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Facing forward,
Yep.
ready to go.
An important question for
Backs,
you guys.
backs arched, straight.
No,
sitting up.
Good posture.
Posture.
Bad posture.
Open up.
Not.
My posture can't be too good because then I'm too far away from my
that's
microphone.
true.
So I kinda like
opening up my
lean
diaphragm.
Open,
forward
up,
and down.
open up the diaphragm.
Kind of like this. Guys, what did you get Goku for his birthday?
Enunciate.
I got him some enunciate.
Some
you know
juice.
it's his birthday, right?
Some of
Yeah,
I
of
gave him
course.
some of my spirit energy.
April 16th. You give him to that every year. That's like saying, oh, I got Santa these cookies and milk.
Well,
Wait,
my
is
grandmother got me a subscription to Mad Magazine every Christmas, and
That was
that was
cool.
fine.
And look where it got you.
Is that really
Yeah.
is that really his birthday?
It is.
Like,
April
really?
16th. You know, there's
Like,
some
does he have
debate.
a blood type as well?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
All right. Hang
There's,
on.
there's some
All
debate
right,
as to
hang
if he
on.
was born in the year 766 or 767, depending on if you follow the manga or the anime.
I'm a
Almost
76er.
Does Goku
yeah, for sure.
Does Goku have a last name?
Goku.
Son
Goku,
Goku.
Goku.
Son Goku. Kakarot.
No, that's his
Goku
first.
Kakarot.
Yep.
This is
Yes,
on
Goku
his
Goku.
license. Yeah, what did he put on his license in that one episode?
I need to know this so that I can change my PSN name to match.
Right.
Yeah, you've been just sitting on it, really doing some soul searching, huh?
Well, if you just type Goku into Google, you get some interesting auto matches.
Great.
Such as Goku Black,
Yeah.
Goku Hot Pot.
Hot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
Anybody?
I would like that as
I
a
would go
last
to
name.
Goku Hot Pot.
It's almost 420.
Apparently, that is an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue and hot pot place in San Jose.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Field trip.
I thought about changing my name to Real Goku 420 because it's available. It's available.
How is
to
that-
everyone out there?
How is that available?
I don't know. Real Goku was taken.
What about just Goku?
taken? Yeah. So verified accounts can't change their name. So we had to
That's messed up.
make some calling some favors. So basically got to a point where it's like, okay, now I can change my name and then hit the edit button and start typing things in and go, oh, every single thing is taken. My name taken.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
And
my name was taken too.
like PSN has been letting people register free accounts very easily for
sure.
since like 2006 or something. It's like that namespace is incredibly cluttered, and it sounds like that
Yeah.
when you change your name, you still latch on to your old name in a way that doesn't free it up. So it's like they're not doing anything to free up old names.
Oh, so it
Gross.
locks
Yeah.
old names.
Yeah.
So even if Real Goku changed his name to Real Goku,
I would not be able
420,
to
you
take
wouldn't be
Real
able to-
Goku.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And so the PSN namespace is incredibly cluttered. At one point, Microsoft did like release a bunch of it was like gamer tags that hadn't ever moved to 360. I think they were like,
Sure,
okay,
yeah.
we're releasing all of these.
I think there was another wave after that at some point.
I think you're right.
How many years after somebody doesn't use a username do you think it's fair game?
It's 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think if you're
3 years.
3
3 years?
I don't know. I think
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a weird one because
Yeah.
like then you get into positions like, okay, well, if you're paying for PlayStation Plus, should that be enough to hold your name?
Yeah.
So paying customers get preferential treatment, or
Okay.
people stealing name.
The reason I'm asking this, Ben on the site, if you're listening, username Ben, hit me up. You haven't posted in 6 years, and you're not premium. so-
you do have certain powers at your disposal.
I was told I didn't have those
No,
powers.
he definitely does not.
Okay.
I do.
Can I get Jan? Is that possible?
I don't know.
Is Jan a
See
user
if
on the
Jan
site?
is active on the site.
Maybe.
Have you-
That could also be an old account of mine.
Just DM me, Ben. I'll pay any price.
Let's pretend that it's an old account
can't-
of yours.
We can't view the password, unfortunately.
Yeah, that I can't do. I can change it. I can
All right, there we go.
But I don't know if that's.
change the email address on it to you.
Let's see what
To
Jan.
Real Goku 420
Yeah.
at Bing.
Yeah,
edu.
that's me.
I'm getting a
Bing,
not.
hit me up at Bing University. I teach a class there Tuesday nights.
Are you
How
sure?
to Google porn.
Yeah.
I'm getting a not
Sorry,
found.
Bing.
All right, perfect.
I'm getting a not found for user Jan.
There we go.
How to Google porn? Actually, it is use Bing.
However, we should not be saying that live on the air because
Well-
by the time the show's over.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jan.
Okay, how about this?
Anyone who takes it, we're taking it back.
That's right.
We're
coming
consider
for
it
you.
reserved.
How about this? I once had a friend who will remain nameless who worked at a major service that will remain nameless.
Prodigy.
Bing.
Straight up give me the account of my name that somebody was clearly just squatting on.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
What are the ethics of that?
I think if someone's squatting on your name,
It was totally that
Yeah.
that situation of like, oh, this was registered years ago and has never been used.
Right.
Like nobody's ever posted or done anything with it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna give it to you.
Yeah. That's
That's
I have a friend who
that's
did-
totally fine.
Is that fair game?
No, I think that's absolutely fine.
What about I had a friend who did that for another friend at their service, and they just got him the first name, which wasn't even being squat on.
Ooh.
It was an old account that got deactivated, but was like banned or whatever. So
Right,
it
so
lost.
still-
if it's banned,
So they
yeah, if it's
unlocked
banned.
it.
Yeah.
well, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
That stuff is sticky. But yeah, and I think, when you get into like, hey, actual active accounts,
Right.
that's a very different story to log in one day and be like,
Imminent
someone,
domain.
yeah, someone added 69 to the end of my name and I didn't even realize it.
I just want to know when I can get my X band
Yeah,
username
exactly.
back.
Yeah.
My Ranma 2277.
Mm-hmm. That's the only
420.
username that matters is your X-Band name.
God damn it.
But I had this
Somebody
whole plan
squatting
that
on
as
it.
soon as the PSN stuff rolled out, that I was going to change it on there and on Xbox and have it both be the same thing and be good to go.
Yeah.
And then it's available on Xbox but not on PSN, and it's just like, fuck, man. I just don't even think I'm going to change it. Maybe I don't actually care
Yeah,
that
I don't
much.
think I'm gonna
I had a
change
long
mine,
time
yeah.
that I had, because I used Unistrike for absolutely everything.
Mhm.
And for a while, when I had switched over to Xbox One, my Unistrike was like not squatted, but I had not logged in for some time.
Oh,
I
okay,
couldn't
yeah.
remember the
Oh,
password
right,
or
right,
whatever.
right.
And then I couldn't remember, I don't know which goddamn credit card I used
Mhm.
7 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So yeah, for a long time, I wasn't able to use that.
I still have Game Spotting as a separate
Wow.
PSN login from the time when that was me.
Lord.
And
That's why you can't date yourself.
well,
gotta-
yeah,
gotta go
that's-
generic.
That's kind of the thing that I realized. Well, that was the thing I realized then, and then couldn't think of a new name, so I registered Giant Bombing. I was like, well, let's fall back into this hole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here's the solution.
Okay,
Just use your CompuServe ID.
it's 0 2
Nobody's
6
gonna
4
take
7
that.
6, comma.
Or your X band ID.
That's right.
Yeah,
7 octal digits.
yeah.
Nobody's going to touch that one.
I started just punching in random 4 characters, thinking like, maybe I just get a nice
Burke.
short name. No, it's just like QVTZ, and it seems like all the 4-character usernames on PSN are all taken.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
yeah.
Because like spammers also create new accounts to
Sure,
send out
yeah.
like fucking hit me up for Fortnite V-Bucks.
Yeah.
So
Also, I mean, they must have how many tens of millions of users?
Yeah.
Somebody has tried every combination.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
that was frustrating, but whatever.
I get a lot of spam messages from people with my first name. Is that common?
I don't know.
Like it
On
what?
what?
has Jason in their first name on
Huh.
PSN.
Huh.
In
No,
particular.
I've never.
I have turned off all message. I don't get messages on PSN anymore.
Oh, good for you.
I turned them off.
I just
Clean living.
don't get any because nobody likes me.
But I still get like, what is it? It's not team invites because you can turn those off. It's like community
chat.
group invites. I still get
Oh,
those.
okay.
And those are all like fucking sign up, invite 50 friends, and you'll get 4,000 V-Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah,
Only 50
I'm
friends.
Yeah,
Guys, if you're listening, I got a great proposition. I know you're listening, so you're literally a captive
all
audience.
50 of your friends listen to this show.
I'll split them evenly. It's like almost 10 V-Bucks a person.
Okay.
We're going to start with news today
Yeah.
because news is happening. Important things are happening, but I feel like maybe we should just finish this PSN name change
The
conversation.
Viking experience.
Before
the
we-
Viking experience is too long to fit.
Can you use spaces?
What
No.
about just experience?
No,
That would have been a
would still
better
be- That would
name.
still be too long.
Does
Okay.
it save
Then
does it save
experience.
intercaps?
It does.
You could just do capital experience.
Right.
No. It does. Like
does not?
I don't think it's different. Like
Yeah.
if you, I don't think capitalization makes for a different username. I think those.
No,
are
I mean,
also-
will it display that?
Oh yes,
though?
yes, it will.
Okay.
Yes.
Just Viking Experience. with an
Take
X.
take the eyes out of Viking.
Actually, if you take the off of it, that's enough characters. And Viking Experience is available. So if you're out there
VKNG.
and you want to live the fucking filthiest life imaginable,
What is? I don't even want.
you don't want to fucking
No,
know.
I really don't.
Don't ask.
It's dumb shit.
That dude can do a mean cartwheel.
Well,
What dude?
if you were
the
living
Viking Experience.
if you were living
I
the
don't know
Viking
what that
Experience,
is.
you could do a cartwheel too.
Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, that's obviously.
Do they cartwheel off the boat when they're raiding villages?
Definitely. Yes.
That's how they get there.
That's
faster.
part of the experience.
It really throws them off balance to see this 300-pound hulking behemoth come
Flipping off the boat.
cartwheeling at you.
I flip off boats.
When
Only
they
at
don't honk their
drawbridges,
horn.
though. Yeah.
You go like this.
Yeah.
And if they
go
don't
like this,
honk
they don't.
their
Yeah.
horn,
It's like, take it.
Okay. Until this morning, the PSN name change was been the top story in my list of news.
Yeah.
So let's just finish talking about it real fast since we started.
Yeah.
Did you change it?
No, because I can't think of anything to change it to. Because literally every single thing I would use as a name is taken.
What about GEOFF?
Nope.
Gerstmann?
Not going to do it. Also, I think that'd be too many characters. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, you're limited there with that. I feel like people with long last names are kind of limited in the fun they can
What's
have.
the character limit?
Viking Experience, I think, fits exactly. If you want to count that,
okay.
I think that's the exact limit. But so maybe that other one will work. Yeah, I don't know. I sat there and punched in different names over and over again, and the ones that were available were bad. There was a brief moment where I thought about changing my name to Dirty Dan Reichert. Because that'd be really
would be
funny.
dirty.
But then in voice chat, people would just say, Dan, you need to shoot better. And I wouldn't realize they were talking to me.
Right.
So I don't
That is absolutely a weird side effect of having your first name in your username.
Yeah.
That people do that all the
Like,
time.
I don't want that.
It's a weird
I don't want that.
feeling. It's a weird feeling.
And I want, I feel like I don't want to just flippantly change the name to something I'm not like super attached to, because then why change it at all? And
you
like
just
break
change it again.
functionality in some games.
You could serially change your username and then have a whole bunch of usernames
Well,
to
for
flip
a
around
price.
between. Well, I know you have to pay, but it's so weird that they don't free those names up. That you have access to every name you've ever had.
That's the
That's
and I
one
think
of
that's
one of the many weird quirks of this.
and I think
system.
that part of that quirk is because like it breaks games in
So that
in
is the
some
actual
specific categories.
That is the actual weirdest.
So they
thing.
need to be able to like even when you go to change your name on the site, it's like, hey, you should try out all your games.
Yeah.
And if they don't work, change it back. Change it back sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Really?
And it's like that's really not a great. Like they're so non-specific about it. There's like, give it a shot. Here's a list of games that don't work. How don't they work?
Yeah.
Gameplay issues.
We're not going to get into that.
No, let's get into that.
No,
Yeah,
we're not gonna
yeah,
get into
I wanna get
specifics.
into that.
Sony seems to not want to list these specifics. I'm sure they know them.
Only a
They had to
couple
test
of
it
them
out. They
were-
ran a beta
They
a while
know.
back.
This thing is so weirdly non-specific in so many ways.
People have kind of been figuring out that most of them are pretty
Exactly,
benign,
yeah.
right?
Like most of it's not a big. So
Most of it's
like
like
that's the thing
leaderboard
then.
stuff.
Like then just say
Yeah,
that.
why didn't
because
they just come out?
Like that, I would feel way better if I knew that like because Titanfall 2 is on the list
Right.
of like minor issues, and it turns out it is a very minor issue that like whatever.
So minor that nobody would care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like
So
just say that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
say that.
By
It's a
not
much
saying
better
that,
look.
you
Instead,
create.
it's a fat list of games, and you're like, I play 7 of these
Yeah,
games.
you
Am I fucked? I don't want to lose my
yeah,
shit.
like they're creating this ominous situation
Yeah.
where it's like, I don't know what's wrong with this, so I'm just not going to risk it.
Do I lose my target skins in Titanfall 2? Because
Oh,
if
no.
so, not going to ever change my name.
No, 90% of them are like leaderboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Is messed up.
Just say that.
or friend leaderboard
fucking
is
say
messed
it.
I
up.
thought this messaging would be clarified by the time we got to the real release, but I think it's actually muddier.
Yeah, because they did kind of
Absolutely.
say like, "Hey, we're testing it out. It's gonna mess with some games. We'll know more later."
Specifically, though, they had said, like, hey, anything that came out after April last year is fine.
Right.
Like,
'Cause that's
anything
when-
after
that's
April
when they
1st.
changed the.
Guaranteed. So check this out. We want to take this opportunity to clarify one point. As a result of the preview program, we found an instance where a game did not fully support the feature, even though it was originally published after April 1st, 2018.
Oops.
Shaka.
But they don't say which
Yeah.
game.
Oh, that's
Ah, damn
fucking
it.
great. Really?
All PS4 games originally published on or after April 1st have been developed to support the online ID change feature. However, since they have not all been specifically tested with the feature, we cannot guarantee they will support it.
What are they selling?
Like, Why not say
what? Just
say what the game
say
is.
what the game is.
Say what the game is. Say what the problem is.
Yeah,
We
be
found
transparent
an
about
instance.
this stuff. Like what?
Because again, it looks way more ominous. Not spelling out what the problem is.
Instead, you look at it and go, "Oh, Bloodborne's on that list. I might want to play that game someday.
Right.
I hope it's not broke. I mean, like, I'm not going to risk it.
So
do I lose my Bloodborne save? I'm maybe not going to change it. Like, they just say it.
Are there any cases that they've announced where your save is
They just
fucked?
have.
They have
two-
not announced
they have
anything.
Two
Right.
lists.
Okay.
One that's like minor issues and one that's critical issues.
Really? Okay.
And
The only one I've heard that was like really critical was Little Big Planet 3.
Yeah.
Like erases all your levels or something.
So are
Oh, okay.
people out there
Wow.
compiling like a list of
I
here's what
imagine
happens?
as people are going through the process, they probably try the
Okay.
game and see what happens. I'm sure you could find some message board that is like filling out
Oh,
what
yeah.
these things actually are. But the idea that they've left that to the community is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Games with critical issues. Disc Jam. Oh man, Disc Jam. Just Dance 2017. Little Big
know.
Planet 3. MLB The Show 14,
no.
15, and 16.
Of course. 16.
But like, what's the issue? Is it lose premium currency that you never bought?
You
'Cause if
can't
so,
play
like,
as
I'm
Barry
fine.
Bonds.
Great, I'm in. If that's they improved the game, then
Yeah, Worms
that back as a
Battlegrounds.
Bay Area hero.
Worms Battlegrounds. Golf Club 2, and then Onrush is the one on this list that bumps
No.
me personally.
Yeah.
no.
I don't know what the issue is, but it's on the critical issues list. So
They took out the dab emote.
and that game was like free on PlayStation Plus for a
in
little
December.
bit. So,
December.
so
It was
a
one
lot
of
of
the. It
people-
was one of the December PS Plus games.
So
Also, that studio is gone,
right,
or
so they're probably not going to be around to
severely
update it.
reduced in size. So yeah, it's probably not going to get fixed.
But what is the issue?
But we don't know
It's critical. We just know it's critical.
unless somebody out there has figured it out.
Is it? Can you still play the game, but you lose your save? Because I could live with that personally.
But then yeah, there's a
Is
bunch
it
of
you can't play the game at
I
all?
could-
Because
I
that'd
would
be a
be
bummer.
unhappy.
bunch of games on the games with issues identified list: Absolver, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2 and 3, Dragon Quest Builders. I'm just reading out games that I care about personally. Grand Theft Auto 5, Injustice 2. These are not small games, but again, the
but like
problems.
some of the games on the minor list, they do say stuff like, "Hey, maybe if you play one match, it
Right,
might fix the
right,
thing."
that's the
Because it might
thing.
just it might show your old name on a leaderboard, or it
for,
might show
for
this
one
or, you know.
match. Like,
yeah,
like some of
You're
those
like,
issues.
Whatever, who cares?
Some of those issues are so insignificant that nobody would care, but you just should say that.
Yeah, if
Make,
just
make people feel
get
better.
specific. Why wouldn't you? Like they've been testing this for a while.
Yeah.
It is wild
Is
that
it?
they did not get more specific than this on a
The
per
The
game
only
basis.
the only way I could think of them possibly is like maybe it happens to 0.1% of players, and so they don't want to freak out that other 99.9%.
But like they've freaked out.
Oh, yeah, no.
100% this way.
But I could see like a business person saying, "We don't want people to not buy these games if they've changed their name," and like. You know, not a lot of people
Right.
will read the in-depth notes. They'll just see that a game is on a list that's like, this is trouble, and be like, I'm not going to buy it.
But also, it's another case where like if you haven't played the game on your old name, it might actually be fine if you
Yeah.
started playing it now.
yeah, I wish we knew.
Or maybe not. Like yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
No need for this. No need for them to have done this way. I don't understand.
I wish there was another way. I wish there was something else we could play video games on from Sony that didn't have these problems.
Nope, sorry. I got a PlayStation Classic on my desk if you want to play that.
Nope.
That's all.
That thing doesn't even have usernames.
Exactly.
Boy, I wish there was
You're
another classic console
You're
I
set.
could play on and not have to worry about.
I saw that thing.
We can't talk about it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't keep diverting to other news stories.
But it's the most important story.
No.
Is the gigantic fucking dumb Capcom logo.
No, it's not.
Jesus Christ.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Holy shit, dude.
That thing's amazing.
No.
That thing is
It
amazing.
is one of the
great.
worst products a video
Yes!
game company has ever
No
put
way.
out.
You're both right.
It's a giant logo.
It's a giant
with sticks
Capcom
and
logo.
buttons
It's
sticking
great.
out of it.
They made their own Pandora thing.
It's great.
It only fucking plays 16 fucking games.
That's not great.
I'm not okay. Look, I have people can walk into my house and know that I'm a gamer, and it's a shame
from
that
the
I have
smell
to carry
or
from the wall scrolls.
okay, yeah.
But you know, I've got a computer out. I've got all these consoles. I've got controllers. I've even got a couple fight sticks, and that A fight stick is something you can look at and not know a lot about video games and say, "Oh, no, I know that. That's from the arcades. Like that's
from the arcades.
That's from the video games.
That's from the arcades.
Yeah.
Like I've had friends of friends come over and be like, "Oh, cool! I haven't seen these since the arcades. These are like it's a kind of a novelty."
Sure.
If I had a giant fucking Capcom logo on my coffee table with sticks and buttons sticking out of it, people would never come back to my house.
People would be like, "Let's
Now
play
you're
some
talking.
fucking AVP right now. Let's go."
Hey, genuine Sanwa parts.
That's cool.
Genuine gigantic Capcom logo.
I have no doubt that it's going to be a technically sound package.
I don't know if
I don't know about
far.
that.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I
Well,
even have faith
is
in
Final
that.
Burn involved in some way?
yeah,
There was
Final
some-
Burn Alpha as the emulator in the background. That's the one
Final
that I
Burn
use.
was okay.
An awful
And
lot.
Sanwa makes good
Is that
products.
confirmed?
Yeah,
Did they say that?
yeah, Final Burn Alpha.
It-
Final Burn Alpha.
That seems like a
Little
weird thing
FBA.
for them to confirm.
Eh.
Here's the emulator we're using for all this stuff.
I don't know. The press release that I saw from Capcom UK.
I
Huh.
even
Yeah.
think the selection of games is okay.
It's
I mean,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I just feel like
Okay.
if you're gonna make this thing,
It's strange,
put,
though,
Put
like-
more fighting games on.
Yeah,
it.
put more fighting games. Like they've only got Street Fighter 2 on there. Like the,
yeah.
Darkstalkers.
yeah, they've got.
But
As far as
like,
Street
no-
Fighters are
yeah,
concerned.
no other Street
Oh.
Fighters.
They have 2 turbo and hyper.
No,
fighting?
it's just
No,
it's just
I
hyper
thought there
fighting.
were 2.
Wait,
twos.
hyper fighting and turbo are the same thing.
So yeah, just the Street Fighter 2. They have Super Puzzle Fighter
Yeah.
Turbo.
Okay.
I mean,
As far
I
as
would
Street Fighters are concerned, I think
Yeah.
it's just the Street Fighter 2. Regardless,
I would be shocked if people don't figure out a way to get more.
they're saying
games
that it's
onto
like
this.
you
I
know,
mean, yeah, the minute you're
like
like, hey, it runs
original,
Final Burn,
like
you're like, okay.
OG, like Sanwa parts. I mean, that's not what I grew up with by any means. That's something that came along in
Wait,
the
hang
past.
on.
What?
Getting all snooty about the parts is not the angle I expected us to take.
That's
here.
not balls.
That's where I want to take it though. Like
Wait, aren't they balls?
They are balls.
Yeah, he's saying
Yeah.
bats.
Put bats on
I
it.
want,
Wait.
I want bat tops. I want American
wait, you
parts
like-
in there.
I thought you just said last week that balls are
Balls are
preferred.
better, but
Balls
like,
are the
but I'm
standard.
saying like if
Are
you're
like
making
the
things
standard,
that are
like nowadays.
evocative of
That era of
that
fighting
era
games?
of
Yes.
arcade games.
That's
Yes.
when bats were big.
And I don't know
That's
what
when
was
bats
big in
were
the
big.
UK. I don't know what parts they use there. So maybe that's
No,
if,
they
if
still
Capcom
use, like,
UK is
hot
announcing
parts,
this,
yeah.
then maybe there's something weird there. But
No, it's just that when people think of arcade sticks nowadays, they think of
Sanwa,
Sanwa
yeah,
parts.
totally, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I mean, they're good
why we're
buttons,
using
right?
those. Yeah,
it's a
great.
giant fucking like
logo-
like plexiglass Capcom
so
fucking
The
Look
logo.
at that. The logo even overlays over the buttons.
That's great.
That's so bad.
That's
Because,
amazing.
So
like,
great.
you look as you get closer.
Are you
to
looking at the buttons when you're hitting them? No, you're not.
No, I'm
you're
saying,
going by
as
feel.
You're walking
You're
up.
going by
I'm not,
feel.
I'm not saying looking at it up close. I'm saying you walk up to that thing and you
Yep.
like. You're
And I
like,
say
oh, why does that-
hello.
Why is it bumpy
why is there
like
a
that?
giant
Oh.
Capcom logo on that person's table, and then you get closer and you see there's these weird buttons sticking out of it.
Those cool buttons.
It looks like they looked at all the
Garbage.
bootleg Pandoras that are coming in from China.
What is a Pandora?
It's like
Oh, Pandora.
it's like a Raspberry Pi looking thing, or it's an all-in-one unit like this that
Yep.
has 2 full control setups.
Oh,
with HDMI out to a TV.
Oh, this thing exists already.
Except it plays way more games
Yeah.
because it is bootleg as fuck.
That's exactly what I did. We got one of those two player like X arcade things.
Yeah.
You know, controls on either side. I just put a Raspberry Pi in there.
Yeah.
HDMI out. It's
Totally.
great. It's so
Yeah.
good.
And
it's
against
American
the
parts.
law, and you're going to jail
Shit.
because it doesn't look like a sick Capcom logo.
That's true.
It's a giant fucking Capcom logo.
It's a giant fucking.
I
Pandora's box.
actually
It is.
really hate the double wide like single unit
Yeah.
double control
Those are
thing.
novel. I don't know.
Because it forces you to like
Rub
sit.
elbows against one another.
Well, yeah, it's like my living room might not be set up to do that very easily.
Everybody's
it's
got a couch. Come on.
I
got a
game with
couch
a
that's
chair.
high enough.
You've got
for,
space in
like,
front of the TV. Sit Indian style. Get on down
just
there.
like I did at the arcades. Sit on the
Yes.
floor. Like it's stupid.
It's stupid.
well,
What
just
if
like in the
they- if
arcades, you're
it's attached?
sitting,
Just
elbow
be
to
cool if
elbow.
they detached
If
and
it's
one was
attached,
capped
yes,
and one was
exactly.
calm.
If
and
I
you
could, and then you could fit
I'm
them
sorry.
together.
I
When
would
said
not-
it'd be cool. I meant like it would be slightly less the worst thing that a video game publisher has done
but also
in the last
slightly
15 years.
more bad. It's a giant fucking Capcom logo with joysticks sticking out of it.
It's
and
ridiculous.
It's like
Amazing.
$200
And it's
and
so
it only
ridiculous.
plays
Is it really that
16
much?
games.
Yeah.
Whew, I missed that part.
Yeah, can we talk about the games for a second? It's not a great
do you have
lineup.
a list? It's not a great lineup. And also, it's like kind of the same era of games that they are always re-releasing.
Yeah, like
AVP is
Yeah.
like not released frequently because of the
Yeah,
licensing
that was
stuff.
strange.
That's
Like
cool.
I would expect that to have been released in that that bundle,
Mhm.
that brawler bundle. But
I haven't
no.
heard of like a third of these.
yeah, that's the other thing. Like Capcom
It's
has
like
made
Pro
strange.
Gear
Capcom
and-
has made some of my favorite games of all time.
I'm not saying it's a
fairly
bad
well
thing.
versed in that catalog, but like some of these I've never heard of.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Hey, I don't know the full list, so
Like,
hit-
I don't
hit
know
me.
what Capcom Sports Club is, or Armored Warriors, Eco Fighters,
Okay.
Cyberbots,
Fighters.
Cyberbots is a fighting game.
Oh, that's a fighting game.
Yeah.
It is.
Technically,
Well-known Capcom fighting game.
Bloody
Akuma's in it.
Pro Gear,
Yeah.
Pro Gear's a shooter.
Giga Wing.
Shooter.
Shooter.
Okay. Mega Man, the Power. Are these all legitimate
Kind
arcade
of a
games?
Yeah,
Fighting
yeah.
game.
Mega Man
the
Power Battles is
Battle?
like not.
it's a fighting.
It's a fighting-ish. It's like a boss rush
Yeah.
arcade
Yeah.
game.
Okay. 1944.
Okay.
Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Captain Commando.
Okay.
Darkstalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fight.
Yeah.
What else did I not say?
Just-
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Just Final Fight 1.
Yes.
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's.
Yeah.
Is Ghouls and Ghosts CPS 1?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Street Fighter 2.
I think.
Strider and Puzzle Fighter.
It's a bad list. Like I'm not saying that those are
There's some-
bad games per
Some
se,
bangers in there,
but as a thing that you're like, hey, here's the complete list of games.
and
for this-
something that's kind of centered around like a fighting game, kind of.
Yeah,
you
not-
know, like
not many
side
fighting
by
games.
side
Like-
using Sanwa parts.
Yeah.
You're paying like $12-13 a pop for the each. Like if you break it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, that's not a great.
1944.
And it'll have some kind of Wi-Fi, like it'll
Oh,
sync
yeah.
up for leaderboards. I
Whoa.
guess. Yeah, right,
Cool.
yeah.
It's also
Um,
another like mysterious USB port on the back for who knows what.
They do say it's preloaded with 16 games,
Right.
so I wonder if that
Oh, I wonder
means
if they're
that they
just
could
gonna
sell at.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also like, hey, if this thing is running,
Has any other console like done that though? Like they have ways of like updating their stuff, but has like the SNES Classic updated their lineup?
no, but they
I mean,
sold. Remember that Neo Geo Mini thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Not the arcade cabinet looking thing, but the thing before that,
Yep.
the handheld. You bought game packs for that.
Yeah.
There were like 12 games each, and
That's
way too expensive, just
Mhm.
like every other Neo Geo thing.
I was wondering how many companies actually follow through with that.
Yeah, so you could have something like that. But also, if they're being upfront out there and saying like, "Hey, this thing is running Final Burn under the hood,"
Mhm.
like at some point you're just like, "Okay, I'm gonna load it up."
I'll be honest, that's what I use at home for
Uh-huh.
when just emulating the games that I
Sure.
that
Ripping
I
your
own.
carts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this thing does just have a straight USB port on it.
And like all the GGPO stuff is based on like all that runs on Final Burn. Also, Fightcade and stuff
Okay.
like that has Final Burn underneath.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I'll be curious for somebody to bust one of these open and see what's in there.
Nothing.
See
Just
if it's
it's like this
Yeah.
big. It's just
Yeah.
itty
it's just,
bitty.
it's just a pack of gum.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
running CPS and CPS2 games. Like
Yeah.
that's
Let's-
that's a Raspberry Pi.
Well, yeah, but
If
there's more
that.
room in there than something.
There's
like
gonna be a fucking brick in there to weigh it down.
Can I rip out the insides and put it in a better looking thing?
Why would you
Why?
want to?
But like, let's
Uh,
say, can I put it in my normal fight stick?
Probably, yeah. But again, if that was the project
then
you
I-
wanted to do,
At that point, then I'm like going to tournaments and shit, and I'm like, check this out.
Yeah.
You just beat me. You just 4-0'd me in Street Fighter. But how
how about Cyberbots? Snap.
Cyberbots?
Find me in Cyberbots.
What you should do instead? Here's what you should do instead.
Okay.
You should go to fighting game tournaments with the gigantic fucking Capcom logo,
Yep.
and have like rewired it to just be like USB out,
Exactly.
and just say, "Here, I'm ready to go" with it over your fucking shoulder.
no one would fuck with you.
Yeah.
Ben, we
No.
gotta do it this
It
year.
would be
Come on,
fucking
man.
hilarious.
Okay.
That'd be
That
great.
would be pretty good.
It's a giant fucking Capcom logo.
Put a
It's
gold
the
chain
dumbest
on it.
shit.
It's great.
Yes, exactly.
Put a gold chain on
two
it, Ben.
key
I wanna put,
fucking
like-
Cuban
Oh, there we-
links. Just
Put like a
Fuck
hilt
yeah.
on it,
Yeah.
and then I could just
Okay.
grab it from behind my back and like unsheath
I
it
love
like
this.
a,
I love this.
like
plan.
I'm in Berserk or something.
Yep.
We're going to EVO this year.
All right.
Well, but no,
Just
this
to
is
beat-
October, right? This is
Yeah.
October.
Oh,
when it's
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out.
All right, 2020.
While you guys were talking about this, I took the
And how
liberty of
amazing it is.
ripping the background animation off of the website.
Yeah.
Good.
Which
It's a
I
nice gift.
It looks like it's
anticipate
like
getting a lot of use out of in the near future.
Good.
Fuck, man.
I think it looks amazing.
It's hilarious.
I know.
Oh, it's
is.
I say this as someone who has zero interest in having one in their house. I
Oh
think-
yeah, no.
I think it looks amazing.
I look at it and go like, that's I like like I said, I literally had trouble with like being. I could not stop laughing when I saw it this
Fool's
morning.
joke that got caught up in like the bureaucracy or something and posted late for some reason.
It's like I can't believe they're gonna make this fucking thing.
I want one so.
I saw the list of games first, like before, and I was like, this is like kind of okay. Like maybe if it's $50, $60, I'll give it a.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. Oh my god.
I'm getting that, guys. I'm gonna get one. I want you to know when you come over.
You should get one.
You should get one.
I'm gonna get one.
I'll get one too.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys should get them. Bring them in so I can look at it for a few minutes because that's all I really want. Oh God,
It's really something.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
all right.
Thanks,
Fine,
Capcom.
Let's get down to business.
The Viking experience. Let's talk about it.
Grog,
Mm-hmm.
How is this the third story we're talking about?
mutton.
Oh yeah, raw meat makes your own clothes.
I woke up at 5:30 this morning, as I sometimes do, and was immediately
Ouch.
greeted with a
Gross.
story on Wired entitled "Exclusive:
Exclusive.
What to Expect from Sony's Next-Gen PlayStation."
It'll play games.
Okay, thanks. All right, moving on.
Nice going, Wired. Tired, not playing games. Wired, playing games.
Yeah, this thing is bizarre. Sony let Wired sit down in a room with Mark Cerny and talk to him about the next PlayStation
In
Yeah.
a big giant like mirrored
with a
tower
with a big dev kit.
Yeah.
But they never came out and said the words PlayStation 5, but of course they wouldn't do that because they're not on a stage somewhere.
not Mark
It's not gonna
Cerny.
be called
He wouldn't give it up that
Yeah.
easy.
Remember when we were all excited that it wasn't going to be called the PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
They're going to call it Orbis. It's
No.
This story made me think that they're not going to call it the PlayStation 5 because of the like weird quote the way they talk about it makes me think
Mark
that
Cerny's just weird though.
they know what it's called. Well, no, I'm saying the writer.
Oh, okay.
You don't think it'll be?
You
There-
don't
there-
call that man weird. He made Marvel Madness when he was 19 years old.
19 years old. I know.
I mean,
know.
I remember like hearing that there were like last minute things about the PlayStation 4 name and that they didn't make that decision. So they may, what I'm saying is they may
Oh
not
yeah,
have
yeah.
made
They
that
may not.
decision
They may
yet.
not have decided yet.
Especially
Especially-
that there are still
Don't call it
factions.
Orbis 2.
Especially if it's at the end of next year. I mean, we don't know that for sure, but they flat out say it's not out in 2019.
Right.
So we know that much. Also, every PlayStation ever has come out at the end of the year, right? No, the PS2 didn't.
That's September.
PS2 in Japan was not
Okay.
end of the year, but here it was like November-ish or something.
Is this is
October.
such a
It's
this is
October.
such a like a weird low key way for them to start messaging this thing?
Yeah.
Like, are they just trying to get the jump on Microsoft because Microsoft's going to
by a handful of hours?
dominate E3?
Yes. I mean, I think that's...
Oh yeah, I mean running up to
Oh,
like
sure,
Microsoft
sure.
talking about a new Xbox.
Right, since they're not going to be there.
If
Like,
Yeah.
I had to guess, like just talking about the timing of it, you think about where the conversation has been the last few weeks, like since coming out of GDC. It is everyone talking about Google. It is everyone saying Microsoft's kind of doing the same thing because it's kind of, a relatively open secret, that they talked about last year, kind of some of their vision for what the next Xbox would be. Whereas, and I think you started having conversations about PlayStation's plans being way more like, oh, they'll kind of do their thing.
Traditional.
And we'll see what the rest of it is.
Like they're in the lead. They don't have to react. They can, blah, blah.
And now this is almost them getting out there and trying to do what they did to Sega in a weird way about hey, we're gonna announce stats and we think people will wait for the PlayStation.
Sure.
And that's my take on that. That's my read on
saying-
why you announce it here
You're
and
saying
now.
Madden is not going to come out on the Xbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Break it down, Brad. What is this console going to do?
The other thing I'll say real quick about the timing before we get into the actual box, from what they've said, is that I saw the idea floated that Wired just got all this stuff leaked to them.
Yeah, they leaked. They leaked into a room with Mark Cerny.
No, but then they took that to Sony, and this is pure speculation, but that they would
sure,
have taken it to Sony and said, hey, we've got all this and we're going to run with it
Oh, interesting.
Right.
unless you want to work with us. I mean, there's a line in this story that literally says, Sony recently accelerated its deployment of dev kits.
Yeah.
So that game creators will have the time they need to adjust to the capability. It's possible that they found this stuff out from somebody.
Yeah, that's
If dev kits are starting to go out wider now, I'm totally speculating there.
it's certainly possible. You think about that's where we started hearing about the Pro stuff was out of around GDC time
yes.
and all that sort of stuff.
like docs got leaked.
Yeah, so some part of this is
Documentation
maybe
did.
just Sony saying like, hey, we're tired of having stuff leak, so we're just gonna get this story out there this way.
Yeah.
Microsoft did something similar. I mean, it was granted it's the Xbox One X. It's not a whole new platform, but remember they gave stuff to Digital Foundry pretty early on.
Right. Yeah, maybe because like nothing stays secret these days.
No.
Like nothing. Like even Apple can't keep its stuff under wraps anymore.
Right.
So maybe
And they're,
it's just
and
better
and-
to try to own the cycle by just getting out in front of it.
Sure, and they're out there now. They're not going to have a real presence at E3. It sounds like that's still the case. I keep waiting for just like some sort of like, oh, by the way, we're going to run a video, or just like some other thing that's going to put them in that window in some way. But
yeah, this entire story is a PlayStation logo and a wall of text.
right,
That's the whole thing.
yeah.
It's so low key for something of this magnitude. Yeah, they get into it to some degree. It sounds pretty beefy. It's definitely an evolution of what's already out there in the PS4.
Yeah.
It's next gen AMD CPU and GPU stuff. They're talking, gosh, you could pretty much just break this down into kind of the big bullet points. SSD storage.
That sounds great.
But sounds like
like
some pretty advanced SSD stuff.
or like a redesigned bus that can really take advantage of it in a way that like when you drop an SSD into a PlayStation 4, it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah. Well, so the CPU in this thing is based on the Zen 2 AMD stuff, which is actually not out even on PC yet. It's coming out this summer. I don't know how much we want to get into acronyms about interconnects and buses and stuff. But that thing will have support for PCI Express 4.0, which I think is the first CPU that does, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, there are like kind of forthcoming SSD and storage bus technologies that they can leverage for this.
Yeah, they mentioned that they do a side-by-side with the PS4 in this of doing fast travel in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it goes from 15 seconds to 0.8.
Right. So, and also, yeah, they say they like fly around the city in that thing at lightning speed, and it
Yeah.
kind of loads all the assets in instantaneously. So,
It was nice for me
So
to
is that
have a
like
practical
yeah.
example there
Yeah.
who
Right.
like doesn't know all these processors and like.
So is that like an M2, like NVMe or
yeah, it
some
would be an
other-
NVMe. M2
yeah.
is just a form factor. I mean, that can just be SSD.
Okay.
I mean, SATA.
Right, okay,
as well
right.
as-
Yeah.
as-
So
as-
does that end up being like
as on the-
NVMe or some like update on that, or like a bus that is better built to take advantage
Yeah,
of
it's-
that? Is that PCIe 4? Is that
Probably
how that
I
works?
mean, I'm not
okay.
the person to
I
say
am
for
not
sure.
either.
It seems likely because all that AMD stuff is going to support that,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know like what the cost of that SSD would be.
Right.
Um,
Do they do a hybrid drive because it would be too expensive to do a terabyte
so the
or
thing,
2
the
terabytes
thing-
of that high speed?
The thing
or,
friend of the site, Will Smith, was talking about this morning
Mhm.
is that Intel has a new hybrid drive coming out that instead, like old hybrid drive was like flash and hard drive.
Yeah.
The new hybrid drive is basically flash and like RAM, basically like volatile memory.
Yeah.
So it would be like crazy fast if they do something like that, but who knows?
Maybe that ends up being the approach.
But yeah, he talks about like, hey, you can buy an SSD that costs more than a PS4 Pro right now, but if you put it in there, it doesn't do much.
Yeah.
So like we are looking to, from the ground up, like rebuild the I/O stack that drives that thing,
Makes sense.
and like maybe not eliminate load times. The other thing is that you can design your game around a guaranteed SSD if everybody has that. If
Right.
it's in
Right,
every box, you're loading schemes, whatever you're doing
Yeah,
to
you
get
stream
assets.
how you're streaming assets off
Like-
the disk,
yeah,
like all
when-
that sort of stuff.
When you have that baseline expectation, you can very dramatically change the way the game works
Mm-hmm.
in terms of getting data off the drive, which sounds potentially very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think like an SSD ends up being one of the bigger like check boxes in favor of the PC. Honestly,
Yes.
even without this forthcoming tech.
The move to SSD on PC is like the biggest PC upgrade of the last like fucking 15 years to me. Like in terms of just how it feels to use a PC these days.
Yeah,
Like have you gone back to like
Monster-
laptop
like
with a
Monster
hard drive
Hunter
in
and
it?
stuff. Like think about that. No,
Yeah.
I have not.
It's fucking eye opening.
Yeah.
Like my mom has like a 2008 MacBook that still runs off a hard drive, and if you
Mhm.
turn one of those things on,
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
forgot-
have regular ass hard drives in
Yeah.
in my PCs as well as some SSDs.
so yeah, moving to that as a baseline could be a huge deal, like way bigger deal than it sounds like at first blush.
I'm glad to hear the SSD stuff because I think that was the stuff that was even still a little up in the air. Like not that long ago, it was just like, oh, have the prices gotten to a point where they can pull the trigger on that as a baseline
so
thing? Or,
SSD prices are in free fall. I don't know if you've looked
it's
lately.
weird how
It's
cheap they've
crazy
they've
how
gotten.
fast over just the last few months they're like half what they were.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Also, there are 4 terabyte SSDs on the market now, so like
Yeah.
that stuff is improving very dramatically. Let's see other bullet points. PlayStation VR.
That's going to be compatible.
When
yeah.
he was asked about PSVR, I won't go into the details of our VR strategy beyond saying that VR is very important to us, which obviously means a new headset is coming, and that current PlayStation VR headset is compatible with the new console.
Cool.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I would love to see them have a better tracking solution.
yeah, I'm sure you have to imagine a new headset
Like
would
get these
probably
move
have-
controllers out.
Yeah, if they're
Get
gonna
in
bother,
better hand controllers,
Yeah.
better inside-out tracking, like something
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't
would
require that fucking camera.
have to imagine they'll have that stuff.
I feel like if
be
they're
amazing.
making sure that the 4 works on the 4 VR works with 5, I would have to imagine that means they will have some sort of revision down the line of like the
Yeah, and
plus headset or
and
whatever.
if it's a more powerful console driving it, then
Yeah.
you can drive a higher resolution to the headset, and some of those screens and lenses or whatever, I'm sure, have come down in price since.
Really smart to make the old one compatible, though.
Yes,
Because what was
definitely.
the number? I think they just recently announced they've sold like 4 million
4
PSVRs
million,
or
yeah.
something.
Wow.
I mean, like that's just installed base for them. Like it reads as like a consumer friendly move of like, oh, you can use your old thing, but like also they need to sell VR games, and if they have to start
Right.
from scratch,
It's a
building
bad,
an
a
install
bad
base
spot
on
to
that
start.
thing.
So
that's
So
kind
yeah,
of-
if your old games come over, your old headset comes over.
Yeah, that's-
presumably the moves.
Oh, yeah,
come
so we
over,
didn't even get
the
to that.
camera has to come
Yeah.
over. you know.
or they may have a new camera. Who knows?
Some sort of built-in.
I could
camera
see
solution.
them forcing you to buy a new camera,
Huh.
potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, like they force you to buy a new remote control. Like if you wanted the Bluetooth remote control,
Right,
like
right.
you can't use your PS3 one.
Yeah,
But speaking of old games,
Yeah, we didn't even get to the So they confirmed PS4 backwards compatibility.
that's,
Like that's
rad.
Neato.
you know, you certainly hoped that was going to be in there, but
Right.
for business reasons, you couldn't guarantee it
Right.
because they do love selling you old games again.
I think that's just part and parcel with their, with everyone's shift to digital, is the expectations change. That
Totally.
you want that library to come with you.
Yeah, their hand has been forced by practically every other
Yeah.
company out there at this point, right?
Yeah, for as much as they spent time talking about how no one cares about backwards compatibility, like that
they-
was something that they were out there, saying when Microsoft was doing it and they weren't. So
Wasn't that person saying that now in charge of?
yeah,
Oh, right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah, well, there's some kind of loose talk about. Let me find the actual quote about the transition. This is Wired's language here, but as in many other generational transitions, this will be a gentle one with numerous new games being released for both PS4 and the next gen console.
Yep.
But I can't imagine
Ubisoft, get on,
Yes,
get on
yeah.
this.
Yes, there will be an Assassin's Creed that runs on both. Well, not. I shouldn't say runs on both, but they'll
Right.
probably be two separate SKUs, right?
I wonder.
That's how they've always done it in the past.
Yeah, but like, why? Do they need to? Do they?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe they just put the one out there.
Or maybe they do the like gentle upgrade path of like, hey, if you give us $10,
Yeah,
we'll
that was-
upgrade you
That
to
was
the other
super
version.
weird.
Or
If I remember how that worked, you literally put the PS3 copy of Black Flag in your.
in your PS4.
Was it in the PS4?
Yeah,
And then it would read and let you
think-
pay $10
I think that's what it was.
to upgrade to a digital
Yeah.
PS4 version. That's
That's
such a
very
weird,
strange.
It was a weird thing.
Or do you end up in a situation where, think about boost mode on the Pro.
Yeah.
Are there things that they can then do automatically across the library
yeah.
for PS4 games to where it's not the same as the native PlayStation 5 version,
Right.
but you're not going to get checkerboarded 4K anymore. You'll get proper 4K.
Yeah, it
You'll
could
get,
be
you know,
that.
like
Yeah.
do they go back and do some of that stuff? And it'd probably have to do as a toggle because there'll probably be some incompatibilities if developers aren't specifically building for it. But
Yeah, I guess actually now that they're doing everything digital, the smart thing is just to have like one SKU, right? And you just buy it.
I mean,
You buy it and you can play it on a PS4.
That's the smart, like easy to understand thing,
Yeah.
but it might not be the smart business move if they feel like they can sell you 2 copies of a game or
Yeah.
sell you an upgrade path or something to go from 4 to 5.
Yeah, so then like the question is basically like, is there a PS4 version of Death Stranding and a PS5 version, and you have to pick which one you want
Yeah,
to buy?
or is it just here's Death Stranding, put it in whatever you got,
Right.
and it'll be fine. I don't know.
Let's see. Ray tracing. They're saying they will have ray tracing support, but I don't know what that is. Because it seems
a
like
lighting
it's a
model.
lighting thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
sure.
lighting thing.
Thank you.
But
it seems. I mean, what I mean is there seem to be some like kind of partial or all software solutions out there now.
Yeah.
Like people are kind of dabbling in different things that they are calling ray tracing.
like the just enabled, like the latest NVIDIA drivers
right,
enabled
like
it for like Series 10 cards.
So the old NVIDIA cards that supposedly didn't support ray tracing all of a sudden do.
But even the 20 series cards didn't always run it. Like the performance was
Yeah.
not amazing.
Yeah.
So I have not tried any. I have just a regular 1080.
Yeah.
I have not tried any of that stuff yet, but I can't imagine it runs well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, do we know if AMD has a hardware solution
Not to my
for ray
knowledge.
tracing or in this new hard? I mean, but over their next gen stuff.
They're
is gonna
saying
be-
they're saying the GPU in this is going to be based on the AMD Navi stuff. I'm out of the loop enough on AMD in general that I
Yeah.
don't know a lot about.
I'm in the loop on AMG. That guy,
What's up with him?
he wants his jiggable pie.
What is that?
That's don't ask.
Okay. Looking around a little bit this morning, it sounds like the CPU that's going into this thing is going to be pretty beefy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people were like the previous generation basically has like laptop CPU cores in it,
Right.
and people were not thrilled about that stuff. So sounds like they are beefing that up significantly. They say the ray tracing tech in here is also going to translate to audio,
Oh yeah.
like spatial audio processing. That's
Yeah, that,
supposedly
yeah.
that sounds more like it's an interesting use for the tech
Yeah.
as opposed to something specific to this setup, right? That seems like, hey,
Right.
here's a thing you
Yeah.
kind of can do with ray
yeah,
tracing
it's basically
conceptually.
it's just basically measuring sound bouncing around instead of
Right.
light. But
3D spatial audio.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they say that you can use just stereo speakers or headphones and get benefit from that. So
Totally. Yeah. Like Dolby Atmos. Like does
Yeah,
a good job
same
of
type
doing
deal,
that.
yeah.
That would just like stereo style.
That's the sort
headphones.
of thing that, like, the ray tracing stuff, the audio stuff, like that's if that stuff just works and is baked into whatever engine a developer is using, and it's obviously always more complicated than this, but you start maybe seeing like smaller games being able to take advantage of those things because it's kind of baked in.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe the kind of cool thing is,
Yeah, 'cause-
is ray tracing, just the concept of it gets into more hardware, gets into more capability, as the capabilities out there in more devices, more devs can start to look at it and go like, oh, actually, this is totally attainable for my game, not just the big, Metro and all these other huge things.
You have to assume Unreal and Unity are both racing to get that stuff implemented as fast as they
I
can.
feel like it's already in
If it's not-
Unreal
if
or
it's not-
coming soon.
I think it's all been announced. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And there was the Crytek
yes.
demo
Right.
that thing too.
It all sounds really iterative, but it also sounds really exciting to me because it seems like they're beefing it up in the places where it was kind of falling short on the last
Yeah.
gen.
Right.
Specifically with
CPU.
the faster, the better
Yep.
CPU cores and the storage stuff sounds like the real big deal to me here. Like we'll have to see it in
That's a
action.
concern as well because modern games are, you look at Red Dead, that is inching into like 100 gigabyte territory,
Mhm.
and we're talking about going to just solid state. You mentioned that the price of SSDs are coming down considerably, but we don't know if that's going to be the
Yeah,
case with these.
And what does it mean for external storage options?
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because all of a sudden buying external drives is a lot less attractive.
Yeah. But if
There may not even be a possibility anymore. If
Right.
the games are all designed to run off this super fast internal stuff, you may not
Right.
be able to just plug a USB drive in
Or
anymore.
do you plug in a USB and then it's just merely like cold storage? Or just like, hey, we have to copy this back to the fast hard drive to play it
Right.
before you can play it,
Yeah.
or something like that. Or will there be because you assume USB 3, right?
Probably.
So are there fast enough external USB 3 drives that would kind of meet that standard or be close enough to it to where
probably
you
not.
would still?
I don't think anywhere close.
Yeah. Okay, then I guess that gets complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll need to ship as big a drive as they possibly can in this thing.
I bet they don't get past a terabyte.
Yeah, that's
Like even just regular ass SSDs, once you go up, like even if prices are coming down, once you
Yeah,
go
that's-
above that terabyte range, they start to fucking go nuts.
I think you're probably right. So yeah, do we just get used to only having half a dozen games on the system at a time?
I mean, okay,
where
so
I'm at
let's get
now.
into maybe what the next bullet point is. Like they're saying 8K.
Yeah, that was the last kind of
Uh,
big bullet point thing I forgot to mention is that they
So if you've got
Say-
native 8K assets, then 100 gigabytes might turn into 150.
I don't know how much stock I put in that 8K stuff.
Yeah, that sounds.
Because remember how Sony promoted the PS3 at launch as the
Oh,
only
right.
1080p console?
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And then nothing ran at 1080p.
Yeah, a couple of things did.
I have to assume that just means this thing can upscale to 8K.
Yeah, this is them saying like, "Hey, future-proof weirdos,
This will
like,
output an
we'll-
8K signal.
We'll get you."
Yeah.
But like also, some games presumably would be able to run in
You
some
could-
kind
you
of
could
native
maybe
8K,
see-
right?
You could see maybe some games saying like, hey,
With the next Rockstar game or something.
no,
well,
it'd
like
be more
simpler-
likely to be like, here's a
simpler
very
stuff.
simple.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, your duck demo is going to
Yeah.
run
Fucking 8K,
8K
duck
ducks.
demo. Yes.
Like I don't want to.
Or they just reemploy like that checkerboarding stuff
Right.
that they used for 4K,
Right.
and that kind of gets them part of the way there. Or
Like I'm not even going to assume every game is going to run at native 4K on this thing.
Yeah.
If your checkerboard 8K, isn't that 6K? Or is that 4K?
It's you.
That's 4K.
You would technically, it would kind of be yes, it would kind of be 4K scaled up, or in some weird way. I don't know. The numbers become a blur for me at some point. I'm probably getting something wrong.
What if you
No.
chessboard it?
We've never gotten anything wrong on this podcast. That's why we've never had corrections.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
There you have it. The new PlayStation.
What do you think about the patent about all the like, hey, here's the new way to play old games and how it factors into this stuff?
That seems like if they're doing that, it seems like the kind of thing you save for the big stage reveal.
Yeah.
That is a big hearts and minds like feel good moment.
Fucking A.
I missed that. What is that?
It seems like it was all fuzzy enough that it was a patent filed in Japan and then translated, and like you could kind of interpret the language different ways, but it was basically a way to run old code from other older computers.
Basically,
in
like
some kind of new way.
The idea of like, what if you expand backwards compatibility beyond just the PlayStation 4,
Oh.
Yeah.
So older PlayStation.
and then what if you
games.
just call it the PlayStation?
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay. I see.
Call it the PSX.
Sure.
Oh man, you don't think they would?
PlayStation Infinite.
This is just like before the Switch came out, when everybody was all excited they were just going to call it the Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like
Ironically,
every time
that
I
would
feel
be-
like we get excited for it, they're just going to call it Xbox, and then they never do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Doesn't-
stop me from getting excited about them doing it again.
the Nintendo would be a pretty good name for the Switch still, based on like how much shit you can play on that.
Yeah.
It's true.
And
That's the
the
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Hey, you got that Nintendo?
I got that Nintendo XL.
I just don't think that would ever generate enough buzz marketing wise.
If it was just the
If it
PlayStation.
was just the PlayStation, like it would just get too muddied.
They said that about the
Yeah.
iPad, but if you go to the store and say, give me the
Yeah.
PlayStation, you know what you're getting. And people do that now. They're
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to get a PlayStation. They sell them a
Those people
PlayStation
are
4.
easily trainable though.
Yeah, they don't go like, oh, we don't have PlayStations.
Right.
Yeah,
Get
I guess if they are trying to move into that mobile model of just like, this is the platform, like you just
Yeah.
get the newest one, then yeah, changing it to that might make more sense.
So this is at church. We only have PlayStations.
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm out.
And two-player configurable.
Yeah.
I want Prey. You get
I get
Station.
Station.
Yeah.
Fine. You need to pray more anyway.
I need to pray just to make it today.
That's why we pray.
Anyway, this is weird and unexpected that this kind of dropped in the middle of the early morning out of nowhere,
Yeah.
but it's kind of cool to get all this stuff straight from the source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SSD stuff in particular.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
weird to
excited
have
for
like
it.
a bunch of weird like announcements / hardware leaks and all this other stuff. Like there's been multiple weeks of that Microsoft stuff.
And I'm glad this isn't like a half-step iteration. You know, this seems to be like a proper step forward.
Yes. Totally. As much as it is just kind of iterative on top of the old stuff, like it seems like they're evolving that stuff in really smart ways and beefing it up where it needed to be beefed
It's
up.
really encouraging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the stuff. Is like it's hey, this is not going to be some underpowered console with like streaming in mind. Though they do kind of pay some lip service to the streaming stuff in that article, where they kind of like, hell yeah, we're pioneers in this space.
Yeah.
Remember Gaikai?
Yeah, we bought that shit.
Yeah, right.
We've been running a streaming
bought that
service
shit-
for years.
Yeah, calling themselves pioneers in that space. I mean, I guess it's technically true.
It's true.
It
I
is
mean, whatever.
technically true.
They were the first to market ahead of Microsoft with a streaming service
PlayStation Now, baby.
and Google. I guess so. It is what it is. I don't think it's a great service, but they're doing
They
it.
thought of it. They thought we should buy those guys and do that thing.
Yeah, but like also like, do they have the racks in the right locations the same way a Google or Microsoft
No.
probably would? Like probably not. But maybe
They
they
could.
get there. They
They
could.
could.
They maybe.
Sony's a very large company.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say about this is the Scoop Master Jason Schreier was out on Twitter talking about some of this stuff after the story dropped. A couple of the choice quotes. I heard at GDC that one of the big PS5 marketing beats would be, quote, no loading times, which Sony confirms here sounds expensive. So, like, that's that's a big claim. And again, they've made claims.
And that'll be a claim that they will like backpedal from and say like, well, different developers are going to make different choices about how they use the
There's
tech.
a lot of hidden load
Yeah,
times and stuff like that.
and that sort of thing.
But
So-
it sounds like that is an emphasis for them, even on the engineering back end. They're
That's cool. I mean,
thinking a lot about that. And
load
that's
times
huge.
on this generation of console are out of control,
Yeah.
and especially when you have a PC with an SSD to compare to, you
Yep.
take something like Monster Hunter
Yep.
and
Oh,
look
yeah.
at how that thing loads on a PC. And
And
you're
like Sony's
"Fuck."
had their issues with that stuff. Like Bloodborne was a
Oh yeah,
like
oh yeah.
historic example of people being upset about load times.
You know, you shouldn't have to like have a guide of just like, hey, here are the hard drives to put in your thing to speed it up a little bit.
Yep.
So
I
yeah,
really hope
that's-
they nail down, and they've been improving on it, but I really hope they nail down downloads. Like I've still run into issues with.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so spotty. Like
Yeah.
it's gotten amazing for me at home, and here in the office where we have enormous internet, it's
Mhm.
still terrible. Like
Mhm.
I don't know what.
Even at home, sometimes I'll just find like a game here and there. I'll stop. And
Sometimes I
restart
wonder
it.
because like I'll download a lot of games pre-release,
Yeah.
because we'll get codes early and stuff like that, and I have to wonder like, have those games just not propagated to every endpoint on their CDN? So I have to get it from some backwater area that hasn't, you know, like, am I
Yeah.
getting it shitty because it's not everywhere? Like, I don't even know. But yeah, that's something that people shouldn't have to like wonder about at all.
It's
I guess like,
definitely a
and
lot
that's
better
the,
than it used
yeah,
to be.
that's the stuff where I start to think like, you know, the streaming stuff
Yeah.
Mm.
could be really interesting as ways to alleviate things like that. Of like, okay, day one, you're still downloading a game, but hey, stream the first hour of it, or you know, demos and stuff like that. I think there's a ton of potential around that of just like, hey, we can get you in right now. It's going to be maybe a slightly different experience, but at least you're playing it.
Mm.
Let me play Tetris. Just let me like load up the main menu and put a Tetris in there.
Yeah,
Every game should have a Tetris.
Every game should have a
man.
Tetris. PS5.
That's
Mark Cerny,
yeah.
I'm available for contact.
It's invade a load, but for Tetris.
The one other thing I see Schreier talking about on Twitter that is worth mentioning is in response to somebody asking about when it's coming out, he says, fall 2020 is a safe bet. Can't say with 100% certainty, but some devs with games slated for fall have told me they're planning as much.
Yeah.
Sounds, yeah.
Especially if
reasonable.
they're just now getting dev kits out
That
more
checks out.
widely.
That
then,
definitely checks out.
that is about the earliest you could put it out and have games ready.
I will kind of nod next to that statement and go, yeah, that
Okay.
sounds about right.
All right. There you go. Man, stuff's popping off.
Cool.
I wonder if we'll hear more about this from them before E3 or if this is it.
I wonder if this is it because they still have games this holiday.
Yeah, sure.
And so, you know, if they do something prior to E3, if that's more of a, hey, we've still got, well, I guess actually Days Gone is out, right? Or
Yeah, Days Gone is coming out this month.
Coming
But
out.
like Last of Us 2
like
and
Last of Us 2,
Ghost of Tsushima,
the Concrete Genie.
they dated that the first State of Play, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty sure. But those two at least are big first-party releases
Yeah.
that are kind of hanging in the air waiting for release dates. So you
Yeah.
could see that stuff getting announced.
It's nice that they did get out that backwards compatibility point
Yeah.
early, because now it's just like, okay, I'm totally fine buying these games because I know
Right,
I'll be able to play
exactly.
them on my next.
I was surprised to see a number of people responding to this going like, oh, I hadn't gotten around to buying a PS4 yet. Like, I guess I'm good. I'm just going to wait, buy a PS5 and play all that stuff.
I got, you know.
Also,
Also, if
like-
you got like the Xbox One and there weren't too many first party exclusives you're interested in.
But also, it definitely like kind of heads off, like, if you already own a bunch of PlayStation 4 games, you are more likely to stay in that ecosystem and just
Totally.
go like, well, fuck it. I'm going to just
it's where my
keep
friends
going.
are. It's where my progress is.
It's where my games
where-
are. So I
yeah.
have hundreds of, if not thousands of dollars spent on games that I would maybe, at least even if I'm not playing them, the mental thing of like, I can, it weighs heavy on people.
Mhm.
So,
Totally.
you know, like that's,
I still I don't have my Xbox One plugged in, and every once in a while I'll think like, oh, I want to play this game I had on 360, and I'll just, oh no, I have to go and dig out the thing, and so I just boot up a PlayStation game.
yeah.
Like, even as somebody who owns both those consoles, like let alone, you know, there's tons of instances where you want to just have access to your library.
Mhm.
You just get the urge to play. What was that? I really wanted to play Vanquish again, and I
Yeah,
was just like, well, man, buy it on
PC.
Yeah.
yeah,
on
buy it
PC.
on PC.
That's
funny-
That's how they get you.
It's funny how long it's been since backwards compatibility was just an assumed feature. Because like I looked at this morning and I was like, man, I just bought a new PS4 Pro. Like this.
Yeah.
And then it hit. It took me a while to realize like, oh, wait a minute, I could just sell that thing and play the same games on this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need both of those anymore. I can just,
we'll
I could just
see.
get
Maybe
rid
they'll
of
have
that
a list
console.
of like, here's the list of games with
Oh,
minor
dude.
issues. Here's the
Oh,
list of games with critical
no,
issues.
They can't do that.
If
If this thing doesn't run every PS4 game,
there will be edge cases.
What
There,
are they-
there
what are they
will have to
doing?
be, right? I mean, there are games that don't work with boost mode on the PS4 Pro,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So you know, there's going to be something of like, oh, we built our engine weird and it's very specific to this clock speed and all this other stuff. And and the developer's out of business, so they can't patch it. There's gonna be weird shit like that. There has to be, right?
Possibly, yeah.
But by and large, that stuff will hopefully just work.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. I think we've reached a point. This was the generation, I think, where it finally made sense.
Yeah.
Because of the increased push into digital games, and the architecture finally kind of evening out. So, cool.
No reason not to do it. Yeah, this stuff sounds exciting. And it's just another reminder that E3 is right around the corner.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, with that big news out of the way, let's sit back and take a quick break, and then I've still got like 8 more stories.
All right.
So we'll keep going with the headlines.
Dreams and realities. Is there even a difference?
I have lost track, man.
Yeah.
I need some help here.
All right.
Maybe you can help me clarify
What's real?
what is what is life?
What is life? Life is what you make of it.
Are you about it?
Just like a website is what you make of
It's
it.
true.
But who has time?
You get out what you put in.
Yeah. Who has time to dig through all these hard tools? Not you, that's for sure.
I don't know markup language.
No, you do not. But guess what?
What?
You don't need to know it.
Wow.
That's right. Squarespace is here to make it easier for you to turn your dream into a reality.
They have like a big S on their shirt.
A big yes, a big S, a big yes.
Are they super makers of websites?
They make super website templates for you to turn into your own super websites. Yeah. They're making it easier than ever to launch your passion project.
What are you passionate about?
I can't really get into that. Right here, right now. It's
like a business idea or
take
something?
too long. Yeah. It's way too filthy. Whether you're looking to start a new business, showcase your work, publish content.
Everybody loves content.
Everybody loves content.
Everybody makes content now.
Yeah, that's true. And you need a way to show it off.
You're a producer and a consumer.
Yes. Squarespace is here for you. If you want to sell some products, whatever you want to do, Squarespace is the tool for you. They've got beautiful templates created by world-class designers.
What if I want an ugly template?
You can do it.
Oh.
Yeah. You can take their world-class templates and fill it full of bad art.
I just got to filth it up a little bit?
Yeah. It's all that, you can make it look filthy if you need to.
Put some e-grime on there?
Oh, yeah. Some of that electronic grime. Some of my favorite electronic grime artists probably use Squarespace for their website.
I bet so.
Because everyone is using it.
Yeah.
Millions of people use it. And it's all optimized for mobile right out of the box. It's got e-commerce functionality if you want to sell some stuff, some analytics to help you know, like, hey, is this stuff doing any good or what? Charts, graphs, all that, like
data.
Look at the data.
They've got little data and big data.
That's right. You can get your own little data and then compare it to big data and see how it all works out. You can even buy a domain. They've made it easy. And if you run into any issues, they've got 24/7 award-winning customer support that's there to help you out.
Operators are standing by.
That's right. Operators standing by. Chat them up.
About anything?
I mean, about your Squarespace experience. I would probably.
You don't think they would just like to rap a little bit?
Maybe. I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would reach out to them for that. They probably have a lot. They want to be on call for the people who need the help.
Okay.
But if you need to reach out to them to rap, do it. You know what else you do?
What's that?
Head on over to squarespace.com/bombcast right now, and you'll get a free trial. When you're ready to launch, you can use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/bombcast, and the offer code is BOMBCAST.
All right, onward with more news. We actually picked up another headline just during the break.
Jeez, breaking news.
I'm going to read
What game company logo is going to be turned into a joystick next?
Oh, man, this is very exciting. Actually, this is jumping to the top of the queue because this is kind of a public service announcement. Headline on Gizmodo: EA Origin users, update your client now.
Oh no!
There's an exploit in the current there goes Ben. Yeah. All right. I mean, they did say now.
Now.
There's an exploit in the current version of Origin.
It's great Foley work.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Had to get some good reverb on it, like it sounded a little roomy.
Yeah.
Really sold that one.
I updated. What did I do?
Really sold that one.
Why are you sweating so much?
There's the room with the computer is like 30 feet away.
It's really hot there too.
Mm-hmm. There's an exploit in the current version of Origin that allows people to run or install programs on your machine remotely.
Oh, cool.
What?
So it's kind of bad.
Yeah, that's
So
not
I
good.
do actually need to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
sounds like there's already a fix out. Presumably, you just run the client and it'll update automatically. I would hope. Does that thing update
It does,
automatically?
yeah.
Guys, I'm at work for a little bit. Apparently, you can just like run it from wherever. Run it on my computer.
You got any programs you
Update
want
my
me to
client.
run for you?
If you guys can update my client at home.
I think it would be the idea of just like you would visit a website that would have a link
Yeah.
built in a specific way that would be automatically opened and processed by Origin.
Yeah, Origin uses like a custom URL protocol. It's
Yeah.
basically origin://. So any link you clicked with that,
Yeah. But
On
also
it.
maybe they can make it so you don't have to click it. They just kind of force it your way.
it's possible. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like we literally just found out
Yeah.
about this over the break, but
Update that stuff.
yeah, update Origin.
Well, there's an Apex
Quit-
patch
yeah.
out anyway, so
That's
you
right.
know.
Apex patch hit a couple hours ago. It sounds...
Yeah, it sounds like they're beefing up like ways to earn XP and
Yeah,
stuff.
the big boys also a little bit of a health defense buff, which is cool.
Wait,
For their larger
to kind of
hitbox.
balance them out because they're hitbox stuff.
Oh, I thought all the hitboxes got.
So they
evened
did
out.
slim them down, but they were still underperforming. This is what EA was, or who the
Respawn.
representative was saying on Reddit was like, yeah, we fixed it and it worked for Pathfinder, who was one of the 3 broken ones because you couldn't shoot through his legs. You would hit him if you tried to shoot through his legs. But for Gibraltar and Caustic, they now have a 10%. They take 10% less damage.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's intentional for them to have bigger hitboxes?
Yes.
Okay, I thought they were going to make them the same for all characters.
Hmm.
Sounds like you can level up a lot faster now?
Yeah, they have
like
a
a couple
bonus
of days.
EXP thing where if you finish in the top 5, you get a free battle pass level. But yeah, you said it only lasts like 3 days.
You get one per day and it only lasts for 3 days.
Oh, I thought that was going forward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought so
because
too.
Call of Duty
For the
added
rest
that
of the
as like a
battle
go
pass.
forward thing like every day.
It would help one of the biggest, and I think one of the most legitimate concerns, which is the progression in that game is kind of
Yeah, I heard you say that before the podcast. I got all excited. I was like,
Yeah.
I can finally hit level 2 on the battle pass.
Well, you can hit level 2 or like level 4.
yeah. You can get to level 4,
because
Brad.
it's like a 3-day event.
I mean, the larger point is I just don't feel any draw to do it.
I played a bunch yesterday. That game is
Yeah.
really good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes, it's great. Like it's still a good game, but
It doesn't have those hooks just
it's,
yet.
yeah, the updates are coming a little slowly. Speaking of Respawn,
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Celebration happened over the weekend.
Yay!
I love to celebrate Star
Celebrate.
Wars.
Yeah.
Let's do the Force.
Yub Nub.
There you go.
They play
yeah.
any jizz there?
Oh, did they?
Did they? What?
You got to check Craigslist during in Chicago. Chicago
I'm here for a
Craigslist.
Star Wars celebration.
Mhm.
Looking for a Chewie to be with my Han.
The force is strong with this one. Arrow pointing down.
My force has awakened. Arrow pointing down.
Mm.
Oh boy. Yes, the Jizz Whalers were out in force for the official reveal of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is the Respawn single-player Star Wars game.
Okay.
Y'all watch that trailer?
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
It looks cool.
It
got
set the
that
tone.
kid
It
from
set a good
Shameless in it.
tone,
Yeah.
which is about all it did.
Yeah.
But
I honestly think the best part about this whole thing is that they were quick to say the game will be single-player only, contain no microtransactions, and have no loot boxes.
It's such a
I
sad
got good
state of
news.
affairs.
Like, they were very quick to get out there.
you can still pre-order and get an exclusive lightsaber.
Yeah, like, I literally was on the PlayStation Store this morning, and they are taking pre-orders for both the standard and the $10 more edition of this
Yeah.
game.
Of course.
Some things will never change.
Yeah.
What
Wow.
color lightsaber though?
I actually just clicked through to the actual EA Star Wars Twitter account tweet. The actual phrasing is no microtransactions, no loot boxes, and no, we won't be adding them.
Yay!
And
it's like, motherfucker, that was the problem you helped create. You don't get to go like, nah,
Yeah,
we're
this
not
is
going
like-
to have
yeah,
that
this is like not
shit.
some-
It's like, oh, you mean it's not going to have your shit?
It's not something
Like-
to take a stand on.
But it is. But I mean, like, good.
Yeah.
But fuck.
Well, yeah.
The fact that it has to be announced is ridiculous, and the fact that EA is the one announcing it
Yes.
makes it even more ridiculous.
Yes.
But good.
But yeah, exactly.
Ultimately, it's
But
good.
ultimately good.
I don't know, that looks okay. They didn't show any of the game. It's just a kind of
Yeah.
CG sort of
Yeah.
story setup trailer.
I like that kid a lot. I forgot his name,
Yeah. Do you mean the character?
Yeah, the character.
I too have already forgotten his name.
Kal-El.
Cal something.
Kal-El, I think.
Cal
is the name.
Kestis.
Superman. Jedi.
I'm interested in it because it's set closer to the prequels, which at least in the movies
Sure.
Disney has been steering clear, like very clear of.
Yeah.
In terms of time period and stuff. Like I know those the animated TV series are a lot more tied into the
There's a
prequels.
certain cameo in Solo that.
Yeah. yes.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I was reading over the weekend that Peter Serafinowicz recorded dialogue for that character. Can we just say?
Yeah.
That movie's been out for what, a year now?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it-
on
is
Netflix.
it Jar Jar-
It's
is
on
it Jar Jar
Netflix.
Binks?
Darth
No,
Maul.
it's Darth
Oh,
Maul.
fucking who cares?
Apparently, Peter Serafinowicz, who was the original
Yeah.
voice of Darth Maul, recorded VO for that thing, and then they cut it.
Yeah,
And
totally.
he didn't find out until the premiere of the movie.
Ooh.
How are you going to do Peter
Yeah, how are you
Serafinowicz
gonna
like
do
that?
the tick like that?
Seriously, that guy's in Dark Souls.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not familiar with the actor who plays the main character in this game, but I saw a bunch of people saying like that guy's actually a very good actor. So that
Yeah, I watched him in Shameless. He's really good.
Yeah, the story stuff sounds somewhat interesting in this, but they used the phrase "thoughtful combat" to describe this game or the
Okay.
gameplay.
So not mashy.
Don't really know. Yeah, sure. But I mean, it's being directed by Stig Asmussen, who directed God of War 3. So I think everybody for now is just assuming it's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
a.
the opposite of thoughtful combat.
You know,
I saw some.
I can't imagine this being like a Force Awakens, like, bombastic kind of game. Since he's trying to remain, like on the down low.
Yeah. The whole thing of this is he's trying to hide from the Empire as they are trying to purge the.
But then
Jedi.
did they also say, "Hey, this is not a stealth game"?
I
feel like
think that's.
I feel like that was the
Did
other.
run on a wall.
Yeah, there is wall running.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
wall running in that trailer.
Are there giant robots?
But yeah, a lot of the kind of voiceover in that thing was about like don't use your force powers.
It's
Like,
like,
you get,
like a 20-foot R2D2, and then you call it down from the sky and jump into it, and then make a hologram appear or something. I don't know what the fuck.
Just rolling around in a really big BB-8.
Yep.
it's
It's
all
just
about
wrecking ball style.
it's all about Dio now.
Is
Dio is the
Dio's
new,
the
the
new
new
one.
rolling droid in the new Star Wars movie.
Does he give a fucking thumbs up with a lighter?
Let's hope so.
You were
Not yet.
you were expecting BB-8, but it's me. I have to imagine we'll see what this game actually looks like close to E3.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming out this year.
Yeah, and
Right.
they're doing live streams around EA Play, even if they're not
doing a conference,
like a
they'll have-
keynote proper. I'm sure they will show off some of this. Actual
Oh yeah,
game.
and they'll have announcements tied to that thing of just like, hey, here's some more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there'll have to be some Apex stuff
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I should
totally.
FIFA.
Let's see.
FIFA.
FIFA.
Uh,
Battlefield? Fast and Furious. Not Fast and Furious.
Yes, Fast and Furious.
trying to figure
Yeah,
out
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, yeah.
trying to figure out what my segue is here because I've got
The Capcom logo, but with joysticks sticking out of it.
I've got other stories related to Star Wars Celebration, Sony, Respawn. What's my play here?
Keep it in Star Wars.
Yeah, so the other
Janina.
yes,
There we go.
the other story related to Celebration is that friend of the site Janina Gavankar was at Celebration this weekend and may have just inadvertently revealed the existence of Horizon Zero Dawn 2
Oops.
Oh, right.
to a
Yeah.
fan. Well, who knows if it's called Zero Dawn 2 or what the actual title is.
A
Also,
follow-up to that game.
also, who didn't think that's what Guerrilla was going to do next?
Right.
Yeah.
back to Killzone.
Right.
Thanks for playing.
Killzone 2. That's right. Not even 3.
You thought that trailer was look, this is PlayStation 5. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's the same trailer.
This is live action.
This is what it looks like. PlayStation 5.
There's video out there of this taking place. A fan told her, "Thank you for getting me into Horizon Zero Dawn because otherwise I never would have played that game." She's in the DLC. Her response was, "Just wait until you see the sequel. You're gonna die. I know some secrets. You're gonna die."
Damn, Janina. Why do you want people to
Here's
die?
the one secret. It's happening.
You got a lot of stuff going on. You've got
Yeah.
other parts to
Oh,
play.
totally.
You're on TV and stuff.
You're an actual celebrity.
Also, why keep shit a secret?
Yeah,
Like
yes.
fucking.
Yeah.
Let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
Like it's enough of the song and dance about like, oh, what are they gonna do next? Like, hey, maybe they do
What do you
another
think?
one
Hey,
of
they're
those.
making a follow-up to the critical and commercial success Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
That seems like a good candidate for maybe a PS4 and PS5 cross-gen thing.
Oh.
Let's
I
say.
guess that timing would maybe work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Horizon's 2 years old now.
Right. Yeah.
So Anyway, that's probably happening.
Yeah,
I think you should
Janina
say.
said so.
Yeah.
That's happening.
totally.
Co-founder of Respawn, Jason West. Remember him?
Yes. Of Zampella
Yes.
and
Yeah.
West
Yes.
versus Activision.
The guy. Yes, the guy who is not Vince Zampella.
Yeah.
Who co-founded Respawn with Vince Zampella, but I guess left before Titanfall 1 even came out.
Yeah, he was not there that long.
I think
for the Call of Duty
they were
days.
Infinity
Yeah.
Ward. And,
Yeah,
like
yes,
all that
he
stuff,
was the other player in that whole
Yeah.
kerfuffle as they got out of Infinity Ward. But yeah, it seemed like he had just like exited the scene, but he is at Epic now.
Yeah.
After kind of seemingly not being in games for a very long time.
Maybe just working on stuff on the low.
Yeah.
That ended up, and his fortunes took him to Epic. I guess we don't know.
Epic said he is contributing to Epic's development efforts.
I'm tired of these Epic exclusive executives.
Did he walk in there and go, "What if we had what if we had reboot vans in Fortnite"? Was he the guy
Huh.
who said,
And then he did the Millie Rock and left the room.
"Yeah, that game at Respawn, you can respawn. We should do that." Peace.
Call it the Epic Van. I don't know. I'm not the creative
Yeah.
guy around here.
See you next month.
I wonder what that means by development efforts, because they did start that publishing label recently.
Right.
But this doesn't sound like he's part of that.
Well, they
So-
still make games.
Well, I know.
so-
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like, you think they're going to get back to making more than Fortnite?
He's working on Fortnite Save the World right now.
Yeah. I mean, no. I think they will just expand Fortnite to be everything.
Fortnite is just a platform now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just have you run everything on Fortnite OS.
Fortnite 4.
Yeah. Hey, do you like bad shit?
Yes.
Love it.
Let me tell you about this new Capcom thing.
Man, come
It's the
on.
logo. You should get into rap songs about Fortnite on Spotify.
Oh,
Just
wow.
Just gonna put that out there again.
Is there like a playlist you're curating that I can follow or something?
Not that I'm curating.
Okay.
I would just go to Spotify and type in Fortnite and then hit play
Okay.
and just see where the day takes you. But I heard a song this morning that it was on an album that I believe was just called "Album About Fortnite." It is bad. It's fucking.
How long till that seeps into the audio network and we can start playing?
Yeah,
Fortnite
not soon
songs?
enough. The other thing I ended up inadvertently hearing that I can never unhear that I'm going to try to inflict on more people is that there was a song on Spotify about Anthem.
Oh, wow.
That had the vibe of like, we watched a trailer and wrote it because we have to do this fast. We've got to out SEO the other people who will write a song about Anthem. Wow. Real fucking bad.
Man.
Called the Anthem.
The Anthem.
Sure you weren't just on Good Charlotte's page.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Now that you mention it, it was just about getting older.
That's Anthem.
Let's see. What's next? Still got a bunch of news here. Speaking of Jason Schreier, he mentioned something on last week's episode of Split Screen, which is a Kotaku podcast, that he had heard that Bungie had plans to do some cross-platform Destiny character business, and Sony shut that down.
I feel like we had
not
heard
like
that
Sony.
at some point.
I have also heard similar
Yes.
things in the past. I don't know what that form or what form that was going to take, though.
Yeah, and like this is not necessarily him talking about like cross play, but
Yeah,
the idea of a character transfer.
Yeah, he used the phrase character transfer.
Yes.
So if that's like a one-time, one-direction thing, like that's not maybe quite as appealing.
As long as everyone that you play with moves in the same direction
Right,
at the
that's
same
the
time, it's who cares?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but yeah,
I
I
don't
can't
necessarily-
guarantee that. Like that's the thing. I would have people I would want to. I don't haven't played Destiny at all in months, but I would want to play with people on console and PC.
yeah, the ideal would be just one character in multiple locations,
Yeah.
but I would definitely take a character transfer.
That's
Well,
on. That
whatever.
honestly
Also, I have not played Destiny in a long time either, but like, yeah,
that stopped me from picking Destiny back up. It was one of the factors of, hey, most of my friends had moved on to PC
Yeah.
by the point that those expansions were coming out and
Mhm.
stuff, and it
Yep,
was just like,
same.
well, I don't want to like level in a whole nother guy.
yeah, like
and-
fragmenting the player base of that game the way it did hurt it.
Yeah,
for
it,
sure.
it absolutely damaged my
Yeah.
interest in playing Destiny for sure.
Yeah. So, congrats to Sony.
Yeah, just made us stop playing Destiny at all.
Put your wave splitter back in your inventory
Right.
for another 8
Yeah.
months or whatever.
I guess, yeah, since we're talking about Destiny, yeah, PC and Xbox players briefly were able to get their hands on one of the PlayStation exclusive weapons last week. And then Bungie had to disable it for business reasons,
Hey, the contracts are contracts.
which went over real well with people who had gotten that weapon, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, they should have known. What
Well,
was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
It's of course that was going to happen, but still, not a great look.
No.
But I hope they get this stuff figured out at some point. I would love to just
Had a video game.
play everywhere.
Well, that's kind of the downside of like the agreement they made with Sony. By having that exclusive agreement with Sony.
Oh, I was talking about the character stuff. not
I
the-
think that probably was.
Well, yeah,
like,
yeah, totally.
that
Yes.
they do business with Sony.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
by doing business with one of the platform holders, I think it restricts them in a handful of ways.
Yes, you don't want to piss off your business partner. Indeed.
So, at the same time, Sony marketing that game probably helped make it to begin with. So you could look at it that way and say it's probably been a positive thing just as much as it's been a negative thing.
Sure.
Or the positives actually probably outweigh the negatives, to be honest.
Yes.
In terms of money that went to Bungie/Activision.
Oh, surely. Got this off the PlayStation blog. Eric Chahi has a new game, and it's for PlayStation VR.
Who dat?
He made Another World / Out of This World.
Oh,
which
wow.
I feel like we're on the cusp
Ways
of
back.
a Final Fantasy 2 to Final Fantasy 4 situation where everybody just starts calling that game Another World.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because it's too confusing not to. I don't know. In my mind, Out of This World is like a freaking classic. Like it is a
One of my favorite TV shows.
It's crazy. It's out of this.
important milestone, let's say,
Yeah.
in the history of games.
Mhm.
But
When
then
it comes to that era, I take Flashback.
really,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just like it.
Me too.
Really?
I think it's a more exciting game. I was never a big Out of This World fan.
So I was saying this on last week's game tapes. I always thought he was involved in both
Yeah.
because they're so similar mechanically, but he absolutely was not. And in fact, he has not made a lot of games.
There was that one thing that Ubisoft put it out as like a God game. Right?
From Dust.
Yeah, from Dust. Yeah.
So that was his last game.
Right. Yeah.
And we were in the Front Street office when I remember reviewing that game
Okay.
in 2011.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
So he's made 3 games since Out of This World.
Cool.
One of them is Amiga Classics 4.
Hell yeah.
And that's Classics with an X.
Is it just is he credited on that because it has Another
Oh,
World
that
in it?
might actually just be it.
So it's not actually
So he may have actually just made Heart of Darkness and From Dust
yeah.
in the last almost 20 years. Oh, I'm sorry. God, almost 30.
Heart of Darkness
Jesus.
had a kid in it, right?
Yeah, which one was Heart of
Yeah.
Darkness? I think I played that.
I can't,
Yeah.
I can't
Oh, is that
remember.
side?
Yeah.
Is that side
That's
scroller?
side
You're like in a
scroller.
jungle. Yeah, you are a kid. Yes.
You have a weird helmet.
Anyway, this
Oh,
game
geez.
sounds cool. It's called Paper Beast. It's for PlayStation VR. It may also be not VR. They don't know super clear about that.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you're in some kind of simulated ecosystem with animals that are made out of paper, but also respond from the internet.
Yo, those things were not made of paper. They're glossy and
I don't know.
shit.
Yeah, like you have a
They
printer
look
hooked up
metal.
to the network, and then anyone can
Yes.
print to it, and that's
Yes.
just what happens.
They look metal as fuck.
Put your firewall up.
Decades of lost code and algorithms have accumulated in the eddies and flows of the internet. A small bubble of life has blossomed. Paper Beast is born.
Update your Origin client now.
That's his that's his pitch for this thing. But it sounds, I don't know, this sounds fascinating to me. I mean,
Yeah.
I will show up for anything he does just because his stuff has been so so weird and B so far between.
Mm-hmm.
But this simulated ecosystem stuff sounds pretty cool, especially in VR. There's a free to play Forza game out now.
Yeah, but
You
it's
gonna
not.
say?
I mean, it says Forza right on it.
Forza
Street.
Street because they renamed Miami
Yeah,
Street
yes.
to Forza Street.
So were you familiar with Miami Street before this?
No, but like I feel like there are a trillion of these games on
Okay.
mobile that are just like focused on like can you hit the gas and brake
Yeah.
and shift at appropriate times, like
Yes.
that almost like drag race style of game.
So that's what this is. You don't steer the car.
cool.
You just time your accelerator and brake and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Oh.
like that's yeah.
It's only out on Windows right now.
For now.
Like Android and iOS is coming, but it
Yeah.
seems
Oh,
weird to
geez.
launch it only on your non-mobile platform.
Yeah,
I mean, I know Windows can be mobile.
Windows Mobile. Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Can you get achievements from this?
Probably.
Okay, maybe I'll go check it out. Forza Street. It's kind of an
It's
old
like
game.
NBA Street.
Kind of an old game, but I don't know. It's weird to see the Forza name slap on a free-to-play game.
Well, they did that. It was Forza,
Forza
Apex.
Forza Apex Legends.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's out, is my understanding. A couple more quick stories. Octopath Traveler coming to Steam
Whoa.
in June. Does it pique your interest?
A little bit. Maybe it'll get me to pick it back up
Really?
on my
Not,
Switch.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the Switch. I feel like is the ultimate way to play that game since it's so kind of pick up, play, put down.
Put it to sleep.
That's what I do
Put
with
you
my
to sleep.
computer.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've got a laptop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean that's the story.
Okay.
It's coming out on June 7th.
Yeah.
They're not. It doesn't sound like they're doing much to it other than putting it out, but that's cool. Last story. I don't know how everyone feels about this. Scott Rogowski has officially left HQ Trivia.
Son of a bitch.
Congratulations
Oh,
on your escape.
I never got a shot
gotten
at it.
out. Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it was voluntary.
No,
Yeah, but still,
still.
he's in a better place now.
Hopefully. Yeah, he has taken over hosting duties of a Major League Baseball show called Change Up. And it sounds like the management of HQ did not take kindly
Yeah,
to him broadening his horizons.
Think of all the sweet green salads Scott can eat now, unfettered.
It's true. He can eat whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I think their quote was like, "We wanted somebody who was dedicated to HQ, not somebody who thought of it as a side gig."
Yeah.
Because he was like, his
he
original
wanted
thing
to
was
come
do
back
it
for weekends.
Yeah.
And
And then they're like, we polled our
Yes,
audience.
they started. Yeah, that's the great way to justify this personnel decision. Is
and we
to
like the they like the
Jesus.
first host better.
cite an internet poll you ran about who's the most popular host. Yeah, they flat out. And I think the guy who won that poll is kind of the new main host, right?
Yes.
Well, he earned it.
the guy the guy that runs HQ seems like a real piece of work. There was a big long article going into just like how internally they were trying to oust him as CEO.
Yeah, did you see that story yesterday on TechCrunch?
Yeah.
Mutiny at there it goes. Mutiny at HQ Trivia fails to oust CEO.
And it just feels like they had the thing. They had the
Yeah.
thing of the moment, and
Yeah.
then instead of capitalizing on it, and granted, there was some tragedy there with one of the founders passing away.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
But and that's gonna impact your product.
Yeah.
But even back
But
then,
but even
you were hearing stories because he was the former Vine. It was one of the former
Yeah.
Vine guys, right? Who had already been notorious on the
Yes,
scene as being
exactly.
just impossible to work with.
yeah, but people
sounds-
invested in it anyway, and here we are. They tried to roll out a couple of different. I don't know if they've actually rolled out wide, but there was like one that was like a Wheel of Fortune style thing. And
Oh.
I thought there was one that was like a sports trivia thing. I could be wrong, but there was like other HQ products, if not out there, at
Oh.
least in the works.
Some of these stories around both Scott getting booted and also this mutiny. So there was basically a petition that like half the company signed to get rid of this.
Yeah, and then it sounds like some
CEO.
of the people that maybe started that up got fired,
Yes,
which is
and
always a cool
he
thing to
just,
do.
Just fired a
God.
bunch of them instead.
Yeah,
But this TechCrunch story, he fired some core supporters of the mutiny, quote, leading to a downward spiral of morale that mirrors HQ's plummeting App Store rank.
Ah,
So, like, that thing was huge. Like, that thing
Yeah.
legitimately blew up, but
Totally.
it sounds like it's in decline, and they don't know what
and
to do
someone
with
else will come along and have the right answer
Yeah.
to just like that type of programming on mobile,
Yeah,
or
it's
and like or-
the right answer is C.
yeah, okay.
Usually,
right.
I'll
more
say-
often than not.
Let's see. Yeah. Facebook. I'm actually surprised that more people have not tried to do the HQ thing already.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because they didn't find an amazing way to monetize HQ as it is.
That is
I don't know.
entirely
Yeah,
possible.
it's
You guys remember that New Year's stream or the
Yeah.
New Year's event they did that
Yeah.
just like
it's
fucking
like completely broken.
failed miserably?
But
yeah.
like that was exciting
Yeah, it
in
was
its
fun
own weird
to try to
way.
talk about it.
It made that thing feel like bootstrappy and weird, where you just got like, here's Scott Rogowski up there just
Yeah.
vamping, trying to
Yeah.
fucking fill time, and you're like, man, yeah, that's some internet.
Yeah, that was good. And then like they just didn't do anything fun with it.
Yeah.
Did you see this Twitter thread that Scott posted about all this,
No.
including the tweet? Sadly, it won't be possible for me to continue hosting HQ concurrently as I had hoped. He's talking about the baseball thing. And because I wasn't given the courtesy of a farewell show, please allow me to use this thread to say all the things I would have said on my final broadcast.
And then he just went on to
And
give
then-
himself 15 different nicknames.
Yes, basically. But actually, he now refers to himself as Quiz Daddy Emeritus.
Sure.
So there you go.
Which I get, like on the other end of that, like you probably do want someone who's like gonna be there
The
every
face of
day or
HQ.
whatever,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
and whether it's like for the face of HQ or just like, hey, we want someone who's definitely gonna be here and be dependable, and this doesn't work for us. Like I can see that there's probably a better way to handle that
Yeah.
than this.
He seems super stoked about this baseball thing, though. So
Good. That's cool.
Probably good for him.
Yeah, totally.
All right, I think did we do it? We actually got through all the news.
Wow.
We did.
Good job.
That's it.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah. Y'all got any games real fast you want to talk
Nope.
about? Nothing?
I've been
Nothing new.
playing Apex and Division.
Oh,
and-
Yeah.
I can finally talk about Earth Defense Force, Iron Rain.
You
That
can.
game's not,
How
not,
is it?
It's not bueno.
Okay.
Yeah, like even from a fan of that series, I've had a lot of good times with Earth Defense Force, but this one in particular, this one's made by Ukes. Like it's an offshoot of the Earth Defense Force proper.
I feel like they were kind of billing this as like the good one.
Yeah,
they talking like, hey, it's a
they've
new
tried to do
engine,
that
like, we're
before.
trying to, like,
It's a new engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an old
It looks-
engine.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. It looks like early PS3
Wow.
era stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, and even like the physics, which are weird and
Like
funny
they're kind
and
of supposed to be
ridiculous.
bad, right?
Yeah, they're kind of supposed to be bad, but like in a functional way. Like if you're like surrounded by like 10 fucking ants and you kill like 3 of them, you want to get them the hell out of the way. So like in the regular Earth Defense Force, if you shoot them, their fucking body just like floats up in the air and
flies
stuff.
into space.
Yeah, but they don't do that in this one as much. So you're like stuck with all these ant husks in front of you, and they just swarm you. The game's like hard because of it. Like, and that's not fun. Like when you're trying to have this like, I want to save the world power fantasy or whatever. But also this lack of weapons. Everybody can use like every weapon.
So is this just like budget
But
EDF?
EDF
but
is
it's
budget EDF.
yeah, EDF originally was budget
Sure.
EDF.
This is ugh.
But this is a full price title.
Yikes.
What about the story and the characters?
Yo, I didn't get very far. I'll be honest.
I
Like,
watched you play for about 15 minutes, and there was one part where they made a joke about, remember video games? I used to
yeah.
like video games.
Oh,
My
yeah.
favorite were the wrestling video games.
I used to play my brother's wrestling game all the time. I'm like,
Which is funny because Ukes also makes terrible wrestling
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's a double layered, really funny joke.
But yeah, I had zero fun with that. And granted, I was really early. I only got like a handful of missions in, but you could not get me to.
I mean,
play
the idea
much
of them
more.
putting that out so close to
So close,
a
yeah.
legit EDF
Mhm.
is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Like we were getting press releases like, hey, we're getting ready to announce this EDF game like 2 weeks before the last EDF came out.
Yep.
And we're like, what are you doing? What the no one wants this much EDF. Like especially from different devs and especially when the youth one is like super bad. Like what the fuck? Like why wouldn't you space this out more?
Yeah, they really build this as this is like an EDF proper. This is through and through. This isn't EDF. This is somebody who had seen EDF, had not really played it, but
Can I ask a
thought
question?
this is how EDF is. I don't know.
Is Ukes a good developer?
I don't
could say
have they ever
maybe,
been?
I don't think that. Yeah, so the early wrestling games they made were
Yeah.
like fast
Okay.
and snappy.
Okay,
and
I
compared to what was out at the time, you were like,
never,
"Holy shit, they're
never
doing
been
cool stuff."
clear every time I hear the Ukes name if that's
Yeah.
supposed to be a good thing or not.
But I
Ever.
think
I'll hold them in reverence for some of their wrestling
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
But that's as far as it
Were
goes.
they involved in Street Fighter at some point? No.
no, you're thinking
No,
of
I'm
I'm
Dimps.
thinking about Dimps.
Yeah.
Think about Dimps. Welcome to Think About Dimps.
I often do.
Dragon Ball World, whatever. That's Dimps.
Oh,
Hell
there's
yeah.
that.
The card
There's
game.
that
Talking
about
game.
that now?
Evil Zone.
What's zone?
Evil Zone.
Evil Zone?
Yeah,
The
Evil Zone.
Dog Island.
The Dog Island? I want to go to the Dog Island.
Double D Dodgeball.
Oh, that's a bad
Island
game.
Dogs.
So this is from the Ukes
Yeah,
catalog.
I'm trying to find any non-wrestling games, and there's not that many. Rumble Roses.
Hey, man.
Oh,
Hey.
the game makes me want a Uke.
Oh.
There you go.
All right. I have one game, but I'm going to save it for emails because there's an email about it. How are we feeling?
I got one game. I
Oh,
got
you
one
do?
game real quick.
Okay.
It's
There's
playoff.
no way you can talk
How
about
do you
this
do this
real
quick?
Give me like 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Your 2 minutes for what I assume to be the Dragon Ball card game
Hell yes,
starts
it
now.
is. All right, so you know what the hottest it's playoff season in basketball right now. So the hottest starting lineup, it's not Steph Curry, it's not the Warriors, it's 7 Gokus, baby.
Whoa.
7.
Are there 7?
Gokus.
One for
Yeah.
each of the Dragon Balls.
One for each of the Dragon Balls. You want old Goku, you want new Goku, you want Kid Goku, you want Teen Goku,
Hell
Ultra
yeah.
Instinct Goku,
Absolutely.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku,
Hit me.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku.
Yes, Ultra Instinct Goku, but then there's like Vegeta in the background of the card.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
You got that Goku Hotbot?
Goku Hot Pot, Goku Barbecue,
You can make-
Goku Bulgogi, all of it.
You got real Goku?
Bancha, 7 of them, at least 7.
Damn.
Upwards to 7 of 'em on a team. So it's a card
boy.
game, kind of
Ish.
but there's no you only deal with 7 cards at a time. You don't have like a hand, you don't get a deck, you just roll into a battle with 7 cards. And in card games, I like to think like, oh, there's strategy, thinking like 2-3 moves ahead and whatnot. You're not just rolling with your strongest cards, but each turn is settled with not only the highest power that you can have building up your team, but you also you have to complete these quick time events, and you're constantly playing against AI, or I mean, most of the game you're playing against AI, so they can get a little cheap. But so the field is divided into 4 zones. Zone 1,
And you place the cards like in those zones.
yes,
West City.
West City.
It's kind of like your front line of defense. Put them in
Yeah.
the back line. Yeah.
So each card will have stamina points. Those are your ability points. And the top 3 zones will take up more stamina. You'll do more damage. Bottom zone, which is blue, you'll regen stamina.
So you got to swap out cards.
You gotta swap out
On
cards
the fly,
each
yeah, each
turn,
turn.
and then each card has different abilities, and then you can add on abilities.
You're eventually wearing down your opponents.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like they have an HP meter, you have your own, and like each card kind of has their own HP, which is their stamina. There's a lot going on in this game.
Oh yes.
How is
yeah,
it in terms of just like fan service and looking
Yeah,
cool?
I was gonna ask how
and,
the
like-
presentation
like,
is.
Hey, is it recreating moments from the show, or is it just like
I
kinda-
really actually like the premise of this game.
Yes.
It sets it up in a really cool way where it plays with that.
Yeah, so the premise of the game is that you're in a universe where this card game of Super Dragon Ball Heroes is huge, where the anime is slowly leaking into the real world.
I hate when that happens.
Happens all the
Well, that
time.
did happen to you.
Yeah.
Wait,
Is
is
this
this
how,
like
that's how it
It's
starts?
like some dot hack thing of like a
Yes,
video game
exactly.
merging with what?
With the real world, and then your master person who's in charge is Great Saiyan Man 3. Exactly. You eventually became Great Saiyan Man 4.
Oh shit.
And so you and your posse of people who are analogous to Dragon Ball characters have to fix these anomalies. But you get a bunch of like weird stuff happening. So you'll go into the Saiyan saga and you'll meet Vegeta, but then Vegeta turns into Super Saiyan 3, which is a bit messed up.
What the fuck?
Because
Yes.
like the timeline's becoming unraveled,
Oh,
you know. So
no.
you get like
Oh.
characters you wouldn't see
Mm-mm.
in the Frieza
No,
arc showing
I don't
up.
like it. I'm
but-
out.
Well, I think it's
Well,
super
wait till you
fan
see
servicey.
Go Hanks.
Go Hanks.
Oh jeez.
There's
Where did he come from?
There's Dragon Ball characters from all the way from original Dragon Ball to Super to GT, Z of course, and then the Xenoverse.
Zeno,
Is
yeah.
Go Hanks Gohan and Go?
Tom Hanks. And Tom.
Okay. All right.
Okay, Jeff, can you figure this out?
You know Omega Tom Hanks?
Oh yeah.
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 It's
Oh, I
it's
know
fusion.
If I told you who Gotan was, who do you think that'd be? I came across this character last night.
Gotan.
Gotan.
I'm gonna say that's Goten and Gohan.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
What if I told you this person had an afro and sick boots?
Okay, so Goku and Mr. Satan.
Hell yeah, baby.
Okay. All right.
He has a sick Kamehameha.
Did they do the dance or did they wear the earrings?
They don't show them doing the dance. I just
Okay.
got that card last night. He looks super cool. It's God.
All right.
This shit is
Okay.
ridiculous.
They're constantly dropping stuff, and like every attack is super flashy.
It seems like pure fan service.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if you're coming to it for one thing, it seems like
Yeah.
it's both like, hey, look at all we have a card for literally everyone, and also we're having some fun with the like storytelling of these stories that you know so
It's
well.
definitely not the first time that a Dragon Ball game has just like embarked down the fusion hole. Just
No.
be like, here's
Oh,
the
yeah.
fucking
Budokai
here's a
games,
bunch of
right?
weird
They
shit.
could,
lean
like-
super hard into the fusion hole.
Oh
Um,
jeez, so do I.
Yeah, I've been
Really
having a
good
good
light.
time with it. It's like you get more cards doing gacha style ticket stuff.
You're playing on Switch, right?
Playing on Switch,
But not paying real money for it, right?
No,
it's
no,
not.
there's
It's not
no-
like a.
no microtransactions at all.
on PC, you can buy more music.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
This is a full price title.
full
though.
price $60. If it was a little cheaper, I'd totally recommend it. Even as a fan of Dragon Ball, it's a little steep. But there's PvP and like an arcade mode on top of the story mode. It's stacked.
It's got I got the quick look up. It's got like a neat little battle chess kind of vibe of like
Yeah.
you play your card and then the camera swings down and they fight.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like up in your face.
I wish you could skip some of that though, because if you're settled into a rhythm and you got the cards you like, you've seen those attacks
sure.
a bunch of times before. You kind of just want to skip it. But
That's something I realized playing Wargroove a few weeks ago was
Yeah.
like these animations are really well done, but this game is way more fun when you just turn it all off.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Did we ever say the full name of that game?
Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
It's an adaptation of a arcade game, which seems to
Oh,
be.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
But also like a ported like a 3DS game.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can everyone withstand a transition directly into emails?
Let's
Hit
do
it.
it.
Okay. It's Bombcast at Giant Bomb as I forgot to log into the account.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing that right now. And I typed the password
Two-factor
wrong.
authorization.
Yeah, let's type this in.
And then
I'll
Four.
get you
Let me
Four.
guess the answer to the security
The door
question that we
code
never
is
actually got.
4646.
Logging in.
Face ID here.
Looking at this Gmail.
Stare at my face.
And
Why
Animate
is
me.
the legal name is Targus. Targus.
Mhm.
Rex from Texas.
Rex from Texas.
Rexus.
It's
What's up,
my-
Rex?
A while back, I
Second
was
favorite
chatting
Kingdom
with
Hearts
my
character.
dad, and for whatever reason, I brought up Space Jam. He asked what Space Jam was, which caught me
Oh.
off guard,
Well, sir.
so I gave a short summary of it, earning nothing but a blank stare from him.
Yeah.
That's the appropriate response to Space Jam.
In an effort to jog a memory I was sure he had, I began to sing the theme from Space Jam.
Mm-hmm.
This was an error. His face was equal parts bafflement and concern, so I quickly changed the topic. I'm chalking this up to the fact that my dad spent the 90s in Northern California. Don't worry, he's doing much better now.
What?
I don't really have a question to ask. I just needed to get this off my chest.
Did he kick you out of the house?
Yeah.
I think we'll have to wait for a follow-up
Hmm.
on that.
Obviously on the drugs.
Isn't there
Coming
this-
in here singing about the
How
Space
did the
Jam.
dad not know about the Space
I
Jam?
don't know.
I think it's
That's-
pretty easy to not know about. So I did not see Space.
Really?
I don't know that I've actually ever seen Space Jam all the way
not
through.
good.
Of course, it's
How
not good.
Why
dare you?
I've
It's
seen-
amazing.
No, it's
If it's
I
not
used to
good-
be-
Great.
I used to be. I used to be out there like, oh, Space Jam's on TV. Let's all watch Space Jam. I own Space Jam on DVD and VHS. If you try watching
Oh.
Space Jam again,
Oh, you didn't get that HD copy yet?
it's not good. It's a bad movie.
First
Like,
paycheck I ever got, spent that shit on Space Jam DVD
Wow.
and some Thin Mints.
There's a
And some Thin Mints.
Space Jam 20th Anniversary Steelbook Blu-ray out there with your name on it.
Maybe that'll.
When
Yeah.
Space Jam was coming out, they put out posters
Mhm.
to movie theaters with all the individual characters on them, and
including Wayne Knight.
yeah,
Did you get
That
the
was-
as
did you get
himself.
the Lady Bunny?
we had a full set.
Her name
Well,
was
my
Lola.
guy who would
Lady
become
Bunny.
my roommate in years later had a full set because we were affiliated with. We were doing stuff for the local movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Sold that shit for a whole lot of money.
Yeah,
sure.
boy.
Because at the time it was like, oh, it's like sports memorabilia because
Yeah.
of Michael Jordan. I think that was actually the most
Wow.
expensive one. It was like Michael.
Yeah.
It was Jordan, then Bugs Bunny,
And then the special juice. What's it called? Secret sauce.
Slurm.
Jordan's secret juice.
Mike's water.
Ugh.
It's they don't say it's water because that's the whole.
Gatorade.
That's the special reveal.
They sell the water bottle. I forget what's on it.
Everyone only remembers the basketball part from that movie, which is fine, but there's like an hour of that movie that's just unbearable to watch.
There's a bunch of golf shit too, right?
Well,
Baseball.
there's a bit of golf. No, yeah, there's a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
golf.
there's golf. Yeah,
Hmm.
Bill Murray's
They go
in it.
through the golf hole
Yeah,
to get
right,
to the
right.
the Looney Tune world.
It's next
Makes
to the
sense.
fusion hole.
Okay.
Is the sequel really 2
I
years
read.
away?
I mean, I read most of Space Jam, the
Oh, yeah.
novelization, but I don't remember any part of that.
Well, the book's always going to be better than the movie.
Definitely.
Wait, is Space Jam 2 still happening?
Yes,
For sure?
with
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah, right, but is it...
They like just started writing it late last year or
Okay,
something.
this says it's still over 2 years away.
Yeah, it was kind of in
And under people also ask in the Google search, the first question is Space Jam 2 canceled?
Yes.
it was touch and go for
Nah,
like a
man.
year or two, but then they finally confirmed it.
Do you think it'll be good?
I think it'll be okay. I think people will enjoy it less than the old one because nostalgia will ruin everything. That everything. That's the end of the sentence.
Mhm.
Nostalgia will ruin everything.
Yeah.
A lot of emails about Tiger Woods this week.
Congratulations, he did that thing,
Yeah,
right? He
Devin,
won the
yeah,
Masters.
Devin from Los Angeles. Tiger Woods just won his first major golf tournament in 11 years, the Masters. Does this mean we will finally get another PGA Tour game and some stellar B-roll accompanying it?
Yes.
God, I hope so.
He loves. I mean, when he wears the suit, it's his swing. It's a little uncomfortable, but it is his swing.
His swing. Bring plenty of cash.
Couple of more serious emails about Tiger Woods were kind of genuinely asking, like, what's up with golf games? What happened to those? Like, is it time for golf to come back in a real way?
Well, the golf club. That
Golden
like
Tee.
EA is not doing golf, but there are still golf games.
Yeah.
Isn't
or
Golf Club
game.
kind of like
Everybody's
early
golf.
access-ish? And
Well, no, the Golf Club 2 is out now.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they've
that's a genuine product?
yeah.
Okay, then. There's golf if you want it. That's what you're saying?
There's golf if you want it.
Okay.
You can
Absolutely.
leave your friends
That's
behind.
a
Uh-huh.
good
Give me what I
series.
want.
Golf can be had. Let's see here.
Yes,
I would prefer to stay anonymous.
we can do that for you.
I work as a
Chad.
mailman. I work as a mailman in the Netherlands and was mystified by a letter I came across.
See,
It had the person's name and address on it, the usual, followed by the words Xbox Pizza Drone. I tried Googling that, but came across no such thing. Do you have any leads on this mysterious drone?
No,
That we can.
definitely not.
Yeah.
We're embargoed on that information. They're bringing back /pizza.
Bill,
Yeah.
Mr. Gates, is it okay if we talk about the pizza drone?
No. Malaria's bad.
Yeah, we know. I know.
I found while I was cleaning,
pizza drone.
moving things, I found my Xbox Pizza Drone.
Ooh.
And I found something even more valuable: Windows Vista Ultimate Signature Edition,
man.
numbered, Bill Gates'
Oh,
signature
wow.
on it. It is embossed. It is not his real signature.
It says this will be the best OS ever.
It says, "Hell yeah!"
How much did that cost?
It was more money for the signature edition.
Let's see.
And I remember thinking it was so preposterous. I was like, "Well, I know I need to buy the Bill Gates version of the fucking OS."
Bill himself
He
kisses every box.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
No, I am. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm reorganizing everything. We are gonna get all the carpets torn out
Oh,
of my place
it's
pretty
time,
soon, and
yeah.
so it's been a frantic push to clear out the room full of games and all this other stuff.
To shift things into other areas.
Yeah.
and-
Well, now it's all just in a pile in the garage, so I can't park in the garage anymore. But the ideal scenario is to reorganize everything, get rid of a bunch of crap,
Mhm.
and then I don't know, set the place on fire. Something.
You see that video
Now we're
of
talking.
Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and all them dancing to the Rolling Stones on stage at the.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
Is that like lost footage from 1995 or something?
good. Yeah, it's from some press conference or
Oh,
something.
boy.
It just-
Microsoft still own that song, and they must, right? Didn't they buy the rights to that song?
I wonder if it was like a permanent thing or they just bought it temporarily, or
Hmm.
do you think that they have to pay Microsoft every time they go on tour and play Start Me Up?
Maybe they just don't play the song anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's just in the ads. It wasn't in the OS, right? Or was it like one of those things where, like, hey, the music file's in a directory, like there's a Beck song installed with Windows Media Player
Yeah.
at some point and some of that other shit?
Yes. There's like an Edie Brickell song in there.
Yeah.
There's a clip from Rob Roy.
an entire
Right.
U2 album.
I was fascinated by that shit.
Chimes.wave, all the fucking hot shit.
South Park episode.
Speaking of long lost footage, did you guys see that alternate angle of the Daigo Street
Yeah.
Fighter 3 thing that
Yeah.
surfaced?
That Markman posted.
That was
Yeah.
super cool.
It's really good.
I
to hear
love
Flo in the
yeah,
back.
hearing
Don't do
Flo.
it!
Don't do it.
Don't do it!
Wait, you knew who that was?
Yeah.
I didn't originally, and then somebody linked me, and as soon as they said it, I could hear the
You hear
voice.
it,
He
yeah.
has a very distinct voice.
That was a super cool, just like piece of history thing. He was just like, "Hey, this was like on a camera in a bag that we
Yep.
found. We didn't know this footage existed.
Shit.
Like here is an up close angle,
Fuck, man.
up close
There-
angle on this like mega famous esports.
I
film.
kind of got my like video game video making career started with like an alternate angle for like this match that happened at, it was the first big Street Fighter like tournament, happened at final round, and it was this match Liston versus Kensu. Anyway, I forgot who did the actual ultra, but he whiffed it, but he thought he had it, right? So he got up thinking that he had won the match. Meanwhile, the dude on the ground was like, "Nuh-uh, son," and finished the match, won it, and I got that footage. And there was a guy on the other side of the room who got like the crowd footage because that's all that he could get at the time. We connected and stuff. Ended up like he was making a documentary called I Got Next, and he wanted my footage. And as it turned out, like he was using the same camera that I wasn't. And I'm like, dude, we should, shoot some more stuff together. How about if I meet up at Evo? And we went out there and shot a ton of stuff together. And
The rest was history.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, I used that on my resume for for my Game Informer job, and talked about that a lot in the interview and stuff. And yeah, that definitely helped launch my career, as it were.
Jason moment number 37.
Yeah.
Justin from Cincinnati. You got me all worked up talking about Kiss on last week's Bombcast, and it got me thinking about 2000's Kiss, Psycho Circus, The Nightmare Child.
Oh man, the fucking like 3D action.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember a ton of garbage FPS games from the late 90s and early 2000s trying to cash in on the Doom, Duke, and Quake era. I was wondering what some of your favorites were. One that has always made my list is ZPC, which played awfully but had cool art from the dude who did KMFDM's album covers.
Okay.
Psycho Circus was not a good game. Was it?
Psycho
No.
Circus was not
wait,
a good
hang on.
game.
Wasn't Psycho Circus also an album?
Yes.
And The Nightmare Child was the video game
Yeah.
of the album. That was not a good game.
No, it was a bad game.
Yeah.
Kiss is bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of
I
know
have-
going in.
A weird fondness.
I
for
don't have
Kiss.
anything against Kiss. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily like them, but like they're not offensive to me.
I feel like
Like they were my
like,
first rock and roll band as a kid.
sure, yeah.
but-
I'll tell you that I got one Kiss album for a penny from Columbia House. How about that?
Hey,
Which one?
Destroyer.
Oh God, it would have been early
Crazy
90s.
Nights.
What was their? When did they take the makeup off?
Animalize.
The Great Malenko.
What?
No, is that on it?
Was it crazy?
Keep naming Kiss albums.
Riddlebox.
Is that really?
I went
Gene
through
Simmons solo
and
album.
listened to that entire 40-minute compilation.
Yeah,
Some good stuff in there.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
It's
I don't.
it's a journey.
No, it's
Revenge.
The
Okay.
Revenge was the album.
the Europe the Sweden stuff is
Yeah,
particularly
all
inspired.
the Sweden stuff is tremendous.
He's asking about shooters from that era. I have to say Shogo.
So we're talking like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. I don't know. He says garbage FPS games. I don't. I've got a fondness for Shogo. I'm not sure it's a good game.
Yeah, I think I'm right there where I like Shogo tried some stuff and I
Yeah.
think that's cool, but by and large, I don't actually think Shogo. And even then, I don't think Shogo was a particularly good game.
Yeah. It was such a weird early American
Yeah.
attempt at anime, though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like there was a lot of stuff. There was the blood games
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like people got really attached to some of those games in a way that I just kind of never did. My first love, Blake Stone, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Once you start at the top, where are you going to go?
That's right. Mark in Houston. Are video game raid trips to Japan even still possible these days? I recall years ago hearing on the Bombcast of these quick trips to fill up suitcases with all kinds of Japanese gaming bric-a-brac, but I understand that things have changed these days. So what do you think? Still worth it? The reason for my question is when my twin sons started first grade, I told them that once they graduated high school, I would pay for the three of us to take a trip to Tokyo. Well, they are high school freshmen now, and they have never forgotten. So if this is still a thing, I've got to start saving now.
You can.
Is it-
I mean, there are still used game stores,
Yeah.
but I think the thing that changed is you have more people in that territory knowing what those games are worth and selling them on auction sites and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that you might just find sitting there, you still will, but now everyone knows what everything is worth.
Yeah.
And I think it's just become...
It's not going to be cheaper than just eBaying it.
Well, it still probably will,
Oh, yeah.
but at the point where, like, can you justify... Like, could you actually do the fucking raw, naked thing of I'm flying there to buy these games and leave, and I'll come out ahead because it'll cover the hotel and airfare and all that sort of stuff. Or I would have paid that much more to get it on eBay. I think that situation has changed. There's still deals to be found. There's always going to find out of the way things, or if you're into something a little more esoteric. But like the thing I keep hearing is that a lot of PC Engine CD game prices just kept going up and up and up. And Neo Geo is what it is. and then some, I think, these days. So I think a lot of the stuff that you might go there to try to save on, you're not going to necessarily find as much of a savings, because I think just everyone got online and went, oh shit.
So it's not that the inventory has been cleaned out.
No, we cleaned them out.
I think there's a certain aspect of like anything that you, in some places, that stuff is going to get picked over.
Yeah, because that was my fear, is that it's all just disappeared into private collections
Also,
at this point.
Or it's just disappeared onto eBay,
Yeah.
which then it gets
Yeah.
sucked off into whatever.
Trips to Japan have become a much more popular thing. I see like a lot more of my peers, going to Japan than, let's say, 10 years ago. People
You're
were.
right. It
Yeah.
used to, back in like what was 03, 04, when TGS was
Yeah.
really happening.
Yeah.
It felt so exotic then. It was like,
Yeah.
wait, are we allowed to do that? Can we
Yeah.
actually go over there?
Yeah, and it was like $5,000, for flights.
Yeah,
and
it sounds like
hotel
flights
and
have
stuff,
gotten a lot more
and
reasonable
Yeah.
and stuff like
It was
that.
a whole lot of damn money. So it was
Yeah.
nice to have a company that was fronting that part of the bill, because then you could just go and
Yeah.
buy fucking Neo Geo games and tambourine controllers.
Yep. You think you can still go over there and get a nice condition Super Famicom for $8 like I did?
I wonder. I don't know. $8 it's a pretty.
I could not
Just
believe.
gotta head to
hell
the
of a price.
suburbs.
Could not
find
believe
out.
what was happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you get out of the major areas,
Oh, this
and
was
get out of
like
Akihabara, get
right
out
on
of-
the main drag.
yeah,
at that time.
get out of Tokyo. I'm sure it's a little bit better. I've heard people say that Osaka is actually not as picked over and not as like cashed out as Tokyo has become.
Who are
But
the big-
but even then, like that is years old information. So
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Who are the big companies in Osaka? Like Capcom is there, right?
Yep, they're there. What
What is it? Nintendo
Nintendo's
in
in
Kyoto. Sony's in Tokyo.
Yeah,
Capcom's in Osaka. I forget who else is spread where.
yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I've never been to Osaka or Kyoto or
Yeah, I
anything like that.
haven't
Like
either.
we went out to the
Changed
suburbs
all of
once. It was when we were still affiliated with Ziff, and Yutaka, who was the Japanese editor for EGM, took us out to some game store that was in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was awesome because like everything was just crazy cheap. And a lot of it was like dirty, it was just like not like great condition in some cases, but it was like whatever, man. All these games, I bought like some Fire Pro Wrestling game for PC Engine CD for like next to no money, but I didn't get that much there. But it was cool.
Speaking of CD games, Ryan from Stickney, Illinois. Jeff often talks about Sega CD, Saturn, and other disc-based consoles of the 90s and their increasing risk of failing over the coming years. What do you think of the Polymega? It's a modular retro console that supports cartridges and all sorts of disc-based consoles, ranging from the PlayStation, Sega Saturn, to even the Neo Geo CD. Their Twitter page posted a video of playing Nights into Dreams on the device, and it looks like it could be a solution to your worries. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if this crowdfunded retro console can actually pull this
It's
off.
an emulator, like
Yeah.
you can do like that stuff on a PC.
Is that all that thing is? So I've heard about this thing for a while and just decided to finally look up the trailer after I saw
think
this
at
email.
some point they were talking like it was going to be some kind of FPGA hybrid thing, and then backed off of that. And like I think it'll, it seems like the sort of thing that could appeal to some people. But I don't necessarily need a thing that I can stick cartridges into.
Yeah.
I'd rather kind of dump that stuff and
Much less it's like CDs.
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Like the whole goal with a lot of that stuff for me is to just put that shit away.
Mhm.
So the idea of just like, here's a thing, get your CDs out and your carts and stuff, like, no, I don't, that's not, but also if it's, if it's an emulator, if it's, hey, there's kind of this out of the box solution or a custom version of that then you have to get attachments for cartridges.
It's a weird, have you guys seen it?
Mhm.
It's a weird thing. I think it's like
Yeah.
kind of a nice looking,
It's
it's
yeah,
like
I
the
think,
design
yeah,
of it
the
and
design
like
of it-
the trailers they've got out, it looks very professional, but
I know Peter Brown saw it
Yeah.
not that long ago and
feel like he had some
some
decent-
decent things to say about
It's
it.
like-
but I just think just conceptually, I'm just like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's a-
know
it's-
that this is a thing that people need.
yeah, so it's like it's boxy in design,
Uh-huh.
and the front sort of top fourth of it detaches, like where the cartridge slot is,
Okay.
and you can buy replacement modules for that fourth of the console that plug in
Oh.
that have different cartridge
It's like
slots.
the Pioneer Laser Active.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and I don't
Weird.
know what the pricing is on those modules.
Yeah, and I think that their story is changed just enough here with like kind of the nature of that thing to a point where it's like I'm curious to see what they finally put out.
Yeah.
But
Like it looks way nicer than like a Retron 5 or
Oh,
some
yeah.
of these other multi-slot solutions out there, but yeah, I don't know.
But if it's at the end of the day, if it's just like running like Mednafen or some, what is that? It's an emulator, like a multi-system emulator. There have been PC emulators that can run original discs. That's not necessarily out of the ordinary. Like I was running PC Engine CDs on like Magic Engine, like over like probably 15 years ago now or whatever it was. So yeah, I just think like conceptually, it like what is it doing that you can't already do on a PC? I think is the thing for me. If it's something where like are they trying to sell it to an audience of people that just don't know how any of that shit works? Because that's the thing you hear all the time is people just like, I don't know how to make the emulator go. It's like, read. It's not that hard. Just read. See people going like, MAME is so confusing. How do I update the set? It's like, it's not that hard. Just read up on it.
Read the docs.
I don't want to read.
Read.
I want to move a game.
Fuck games.
I feel like anybody that already has PC Engine discs probably knows how to do things with those discs.
Yeah.
Is my guess, but I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I bought a pile of Neo Geo CD games at one point and never bought a Neo Geo CD because they ran on a PC.
Yeah.
That was you want to talk about the depths of those Japan trips. It was shit like that. It was just like, well, these are cheap. I'm just going to get them.
Why not?
And then now I have like 8 Neo Geo CD games and no Neo Geo CD, but you can stick them into a PC. Or I don't know. I assume that there's still an emulator that does that shit. But yeah, I could just stick the discs in and play them. And do that. So yeah, that stuff's out there.
It's so damn volatile though. Like you got scratches to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. Like part of my goal with that stuff is to just put it away, keep it nice.
Yeah.
Like some people get really married to the whole like artifact nature of it and like the physical object and the feel of putting the cartridge in the slot. And I'm just like, that is like, you go fucking get into your weird cart porn.
Is this the vinyl?
Somewhere else.
The vinyl of video games?
Like, yeah. And I think if you can duplicate that experience, and even on some cases, the same device, like the Mega SG, you can get custom firmware that'll load stuff off SD and or get a flash card or something like that, and dump your ROMs, put it on there, do what you want to do. I take no pleasure out of like I put the cartridge in the slot and I slid the CD in and there's nothing that does nothing for me.
Yeah. I'm with you, but
a little bit.
I want to play the games. I want to play them accurately.
Yes.
I want to play them on a good controller.
Yes, I'm with you.
And sometimes that good controller is the original controller, and sometimes it's not, depending on the platform. So that aspect of it is like there's a level of like physical fetishism to that that I just am not. It does nothing for me.
Like nothing against people that are into that stuff, but I am amazed at the links people are going to kind of resuscitate some of these old consoles, like the kind of HDMI mods for like Dreamcast and GameCube.
That stuff's
and
super
like,
cool.
It's cool as hell that it exists, but man, it seems so complicated and time consuming.
Right, but I think that, and that's a case where like granted, you can now run a lot of Dreamcast stuff on the PC, but like accuracy is not, it's not super, it's not vitally accurate. So in that case, like the real hardware still matters, and I think it's like taking the real hardware and going, okay, we found a way to make it output at a modern to a modern display, without having to filter it or without having to scan convert and all this other stuff. Like I think that stuff's really neat. But I think like the thing I would want is actually like do a full workup on a Dreamcast where you're putting the ODE in it also. It's an optical drive emulator.
As the SD card thing.
To load games off an SD. To just make that a solid unit. Here you go.
Yep.
People are putting Noctua fans in Dreamcasts and shit. Like they're, like replacing the fans and keeping it cool and all that. And I have a PC Engine Duo R that has been RGB modded, and the video out on it's beautiful. But also they got Rondo of Blood starting to boot on a Mister like yesterday. So that stuff's gonna come along, and that's cool too.
Never been more ways to play old video games.
Right, exactly. And so I think that, at the end of the day, it's easy to like go, oh, fuck this thing and this thing's the way to go and blah, blah, blah. I think everyone has different needs and they're into different weird aspects of it in terms of like, well, they want something that's going to output to a PVM, or they want something that's, it needs to have analog out. It needs to do this. It needs to, like I want the good fake scan lines. I want to hook it up to a OSSC, and like there are a million different ways to achieve those goals, and I don't think there's any one way that's right or wrong. So I think with the Polymega, there's probably some audience that will be appropriately served by that, but at the same time, it's the sort of thing you look at and go like, actually, if they just did some more reading, they could probably be meeting those needs today with hardware they already have.
Yeah.
So, I have not looked super closely at the Polymega in a while, but I feel like they have gained themselves something of a rep out there amongst a lot of other people in kind of that community where people are just shitting on that thing non-fucking stop.
Yikes.
And I look at it and go like, it doesn't seem that bad, but I see why people would look at it and go, man, fuck that thing. It's like,
But there's a lot of attitude in the classic game scene.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, especially when it comes to the people that are trying to sell products.
Yeah.
Like lately.
Especially with so many people doing work for free, basically.
Yeah.
Like just for the sake of the community.
Yeah. That stuff is weird. So I don't know what to make of it.
Email from Jason. How to make a GTA game in 2020? You become the president?
That's
just
not been
Saints
done
Row.
before.
Yeah. Saints Row 4 kind of already crossed that bridge, but for a very different reason.
Yeah.
I kind of get what he's going for.
And that's exactly the type of like satire, non-satire thing that I think we say makes it so hard to make a GTA game. Because of course. But no.
Yeah. Let's see. Email from Kieran. My office of 150 to 200 people has a tradition of sending farewell emails to the whole staff. In response to a recent one of these, some idiot in sales replied all with just F. We thought it was a typo, but in the group chat for his team, he sent a link to the Press F to Pay Respects Know Your Meme page, saying, for anybody who wants to up their meme game.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm always trying to up my fucking meme game.
Again, he sent this email to the entire company, including the CEO. As a result of his hilarious joke, all company-wide emails must now be cleared by a manager.
Good.
So my question is this. What's the worst instance you've seen of gaming culture being incorporated somewhere it really, really shouldn't be?
I think even calling that gaming culture bums me out. I mean,
Up
it is.
your
It
meme
is, of
game
course.
for this meme that came out 3 years ago.
For anyone who's looking to up their meme game, that's my favorite new meme.
I don't like this.
Jesus.
I don't
I don't know that I have an answer to the question other than congratulations to the company for finally stopping company-wide emails.
Was he the next that got the farewell?
Yeah,
Probably,
right.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
it's
He
weird.
wrote,
I'm leaving because my meme game is too strong.
I used to be on the marketing team, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
Hmm.
Send all.
He's going to go meme pro. He's
Hey,
turning
wow.
pro. His game is so strong.
There's
he's
going to
turn
be
pro.
a party in the break room after for everyone to come to, but watch out, the cake is a lie.
Whoa, I get that
Damn.
reference.
That's funny.
Some much more timely memes.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
A friend in this office in the CBS Slack channel had said "esket," and you guys probably know who that is already.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a stern talking to for constantly saying "esket," and that eventually spawned the "esket" shirts from last year's E3. And then he had to explain what "esket" meant. And then I think for a hot minute, all the upper echelon people were saying "esket,"
Yep.
which must have been fun.
Gaming culture where it shouldn't belong. Outside?
Yeah, outside of my home.
Yeah, like wearing a shirt
Yeah.
with games on it
That's
in
too
public.
much. It's too much.
What about my Gorf shirt that I bought at California Extreme
that's okay.
and just donated to Goodwill?
It's free now.
Great.
Mhm.
Free Gorf.
Set
Free
it
Gorf.
Hashtag free Gorf.
Greg and
I
Tom.
love Gorf.
What about Gorfield?
I'll fucking come across this table, man.
It's the fusion of Gorf and Garfield.
Greg in Taunton, Massachusetts. Recently, while listening to my iPhone on shuffle, the Oddities ring entrance music from WWF The Music Volume 3 started playing. I was reminded of Jeff's recent comment that he could differentiate good ICP songs from bad ones, and as someone who has never listened to an ICP
It's a bad
album,
one.
I was wondering where the Oddities ranks in the discography.
Low. It's a bad one.
Okay. All right, then.
Give me
If you like that
two
one.
good ones.
Two good ICP songs.
Yeah, so I can like go. I've only heard I heard the like fucking Magnet song when that was a joke.
that's not a good song.
Yeah.
What's the one that goes, homies?
No, that's
homies?
bad.
bad.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Anything from that period on is
I don't
just
know.
everything past the Great Malenko is bad.
I have no idea.
What is a Juggalo?
Okay.
And the like remix, the guitar-y version of Chicken Hunting.
Okay.
Those are the two that I'll say.
Have ICP and KISS ever done anything together?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The
Other
world is
than-
not ready.
Yeah, no, it's probably not.
Kiss
probably
coming to the
not.
gathering.
Sure, why not? Why not? I think
Austin
ICP did
was,
do
like,
some kind of
Going
like
there. Look
take
at all
the
these
face
Kiss
paint off
fans.
show, like Kiss. I don't know. Seems like something they would have done by now.
Jocelyn from Montreal. Been playing Watch Dogs 2 for the last few days, and I noticed that there are many more palm trees than what I expected in San Francisco.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is this portrait of San Francisco actually accurate? I don't know why, but I always assumed SF was more of a temperate weather type of climate. And while I knew there were some palm trees there, I didn't expect to see such a big diversity and distribution. Are you proud of your palm trees? Do you notice them? Can you see one from the studio right now?
I feel like when I see
No.
well, yeah, when I see palm trees in Northern California, because there are definitely some up where I live also, I always look at them with disdain.
yes.
And just go like,
They're
fuck
not-
that. Oh,
they're not
this is
supposed to be
trying
there.
to bring this fucking LA shit up here.
There's that stretch down by like Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
like
there's some
Presidio,
near
where
the
you
water.
get some there, and
My-
I would always see that. And
There are
yeah,
houses
like,
that have some
same-
like in their backyard and stuff, and I always look at it and just go like, "What the fuck are you
yeah,
doing?"
it's so distinctly LA to me.
The Target at Emeryville has a shit ton in the parking lot.
Weird.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are you bringing these here? Why a parking lot?
I will say, as somebody who grew up on the East Coast, like the palm tree was basically the symbol of California
yeah.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
popular culture.
Or Florida.
So-
It's,
I mean, there's just not a ton of trees in San Francisco to begin with, and so I feel like that makes
I think
the
of
palm
redwoods.
trees extra
Yeah,
stick
you
out.
know, around here.
There's some
That's-
really nice trees like at SF State because fun thing about like our geography is similar to Japan's in the way the fog works, that there's certain kinds of trees that only grow in Japan and San Francisco, and so they brought a lot of those over, and it's really nice. Like there's a lot of like
Oh, yeah.
California is, we have kind of everything
Yeah.
in terms of like wildlife or fauna at least,
We're a
and
big state.
and it's the fact that we would put fucking palm trees in.
Not a fan.
In
They
NorCal?
suck.
Yeah.
I don't
If
remember.
you want iconic plants, just put in weed.
The weed leaf, the most iconic plant there is.
God, man, I can't.
When you think of California,
there are so
when you think
many.
of Northern California,
There are so many ads for weed.
Oh,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Now it is
You
ridiculous.
you will see at least one ad for weed a day if you leave the house in the Bay Area.
the
I can see an
there's
ad
there's
right
multiple-
here from this
There's
podcast
multiple
studio.
dispensaries
Yeah.
within like 3 blocks of this office.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the,
Another-
the
another one
liquor
just
store
opened.
across the street has like CBD drinks and
Yeah.
gummies
Yeah.
and stuff now too.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can start.
The
Selling that
the
shit.
convenience store near my house has the same
Huh.
CBD drinks, just there,
Wow.
like without a sign on it that says "Here's what this is."
Right.
Also, which I don't know. That's
Yeah, I've been waiting for it to kind of seep into the
Yeah.
normal stores.
it
I
usually
guess it's
takes like
happening
an
now.
hour,
It's
an
happening.
hour and a half.
What's that?
You said you were waiting for it to seep in.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
about an hour
gotta
and a half.
wait like an hour and a
Depends.
half before you have any more. You don't want to.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. I don't remember Watch Dogs 2 well enough to say if they ever did it on that front. Probably
wait, did what on the on what?
the palm trees.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah,
I remember the geography being like kind of right, but then weird for like
Yeah,
the
they had-
Richmond isn't there. You like
Right.
come over the Golden Gate Bridge and then suddenly you're like hitting downtown. But the areas and then like Silicon Valley or like San Jose was like right next
yeah.
to San Francisco.
They definitely like cut out some neighborhoods.
They
and
fudged
but
it
shit.
for
like
sure.
it felt okay, like going around. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going from this area to this area.
It was like way better than Driver San Francisco, right?
yeah,
I think so.
I think
I
Yeah.
think
that,
so.
that one just
Yeah.
like mashed everything
Right.
in
Yeah.
one giant landmass or something.
yeah. I think in the
Better than
quick look,
Vet.
we did my morning commute. I think And like it was
Yeah.
almost exact. It was great.
Question from Vino. Best licensed soundtrack in a video game? Hard mode, no Tony Hawk games. It's probably New Vegas, huh? I don't know.
What was that? That not Tony Hawk game we played that was like
Grind
a
session.
arcadey kind
Oh,
of
Razor Scooter.
Street Skater.
Street Skater.
That's just all ska from the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, the Japanese one?
yeah.
That was a pretty good
Licensed
soundtrack.
ska or
I
just
believe
like,
I believe
okay.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like audio network ska.
My knee-jerk answer to this question is
Audio Network. I think is what you're looking for there.
Nice.
Scott Rosgowski's new gig.
Yeah.
This baseball thing doesn't work out.
Scottio
Yeah.
Network.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
What's up, you hip cats? Me, Ska Daddy.
Pick it up.
Skadaddy here.
Scott Daddy Emeritus.
Um,
I always think of Vice City when I see this question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Vice
that's
City's
still. I don't know if that's still valid or not.
Oh yeah, I mean it's perfectly valid.
I don't remember a lot of what's on it. I just remember thinking it had like the greatest soundtrack ever.
It was all that 80s shit before all that 80s shit was everywhere.
Yeah, it got all before
Yeah.
it was super played out.
Def Jam, Fight for New York.
Okay.
Is that like good or like
it's Guitar
good,
Hero
good.
3.
Yeah, I think Vice City's a strong
Rock Band.
choice. I don't know that I would.
Rock
of course,
Band.
yeah. Rock Band won though.
DJ Hero.
Yeah. Hey, you know, listen.
Frequency actually has some hot tracks on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I feel like GTA kind of got away from the licensed music stuff after a while, didn't it?
Well, they have it. I think they just, they got away from making period pieces the same way
Yeah, so
to the
it wasn't-
point where.
There wasn't a lot of big mega hit pop
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Also, I think Vice City and San Andreas kind of hit a specific window of like in terms of the age groups that were playing GTA at the time.
Sure.
Uh,
Yes.
whereas, I mean, GTA 5 has an immense license. They just add a bunch of. Basically, add like an album's worth of music from Health into GTA Online, like
maybe.
recently or something. Like, there's just all sorts of. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking music in that game.
Burn Up Paradise is another strong one.
That's-
It
yeah,
has
it's
some
not
bad
bad.
songs,
not
but
bad.
like
It has 2 songs.
no, it's got that. It's got that
It is-
LCD sound system song.
It is
3 songs.
okay.
You're
okay,
right.
there you go. That game is pretty EA traxed out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't like Aerosmith, but the game opening with that song.
Good best use of Aerosmith.
Yes. well,
Revolution
that,
X
that,
and that.
and I was gonna say Saints Row
The
4.
Saints Row,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Sure. Yes. Saints
Seven.
Row, Saints Row 3 and 4 have got pretty good.
Aerosmith in
Yeah.
particular.
Yes. Will from Toronto. Just had to write in and let you know Fucky Kong made me spit Coke laughing in my office, and there is now Coke all over my laptop. I had to go to
Oh,
IT
no.
and
Don't do Coke in
explain
your
what
office.
happened.
Yeah.
So there you go. Good job. We ruined that guy's corporate laptop.
Yeah. Now, no more podcasts allowed. No company-wide emails. No podcasts. Those are the rules.
No more Coke.
Yeah.
Got to get it all approved by your manager.
Mm-hmm. Can I get this 8-ball? Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I'll sign off on that.
Dusty Kong.
Nathan from Tumwater, Washington. Hi. What is your favorite Dick Tracy bad guy?
Eraserhead.
I don't know.
The
blue
I
meanie.
the fast-talking guy that said
Yeah,
Big Boy did it.
I read this email to see how many Dick Tracy villains
I have
anybody
no
can even
idea.
name.
Yeah.
Crime.
The
That's
streets.
a pretty bad one.
What if Dick Tracy was the true villain all along?
Whoa.
Yeah. That Genesis game's all right.
Yeah. That's not
Is
bad.
he the guy who wears all yellow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yes,
he's got the
it's
watch.
the yellow,
Yeah.
the
The
yellow
watch phone.
fedora and trench coat.
As far as my knowledge of Dick Tracy goes.
Is it a watch phone or is it like a watch video?
It's like a walkie-talkie, I thought.
Is it
I
just
didn't think it was
voice?
I didn't think it was video.
I think it was, yeah.
I used to look at
Just
that
But
thing.
like that's the
just
thing that
voice.
like that every
He wouldn't
smart
look
watch
at it.
manufacturer was just like, and it does the Dick Tracy shit.
Yeah.
Um.
I used to look at that thing as a kid and think like, man, we'll never have that for real.
Yeah.
Not in my lifetime.
Now we have it and don't want it.
Who cares? Is that movie any good? I don't remember.
It had Madonna in it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's No the Shadow.
Warren Beatty.
Well, yeah. What?
Yeah.
It's no the Saint.
Isn't
It's no the
Pacino-
Phantom.
Isn't Pacino the?
Slam evil.
Yeah. All right. Not a lot of Dick Tracy fans around here.
New Madonna album just got announced.
What?
Good
Oh.
Lord.
I'm not going to go into it. I have nothing more to say.
Better that you don't. DW from Seattle. I regularly watch one of the top Tetris 99 players.
Ooh.
They have a win rate.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. They have a win rate of about 33%, and here are some tips about playing well based on what they do. Okay, number 1. You don't want to manually target ever.
Okay.
Unless there's like 5 people left. Are you sorry, you know what, this email is also kind of riddled with typos, so it's going to be a little hard to read. Unless
Who's
there are
too
like
busy
5 people
watching?
left, all you really want to do. God, I'm sorry, some of this language is unintelligible. I'm going to read the sentence as is. Unless there's like 5 people left, are you really want to go after them in particular?
Okay.
Help me out here.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's saying, like once you're clearly defined
Yes,
who the
I
best
think
players
there
are,
is,
you'll
yes.
go after
Yeah,
them.
I kind of get what he's saying. That said, you really need to be aware of what targeting setting you are on and when to switch. You should generally be sticking to either KOs or attackers. Also, every single instance of KO in this email is okay. So forgive me if I
Probably typed it on a phone very quickly.
It's very possible. You should generally be sticking to either KOs or attackers. The general strategy is to build up a base high enough to trick people into targeting you, then switch to attackers and clear as many lines back as possible to get a lot of KOs. When you KO someone by being the last person to send them garbage, you earn a badge. I didn't know this. If they had any badges, then you get those.
You get their badges.
I did not realize you get all the badges of somebody
yeah.
until I read this email. You need about 16 to 20 KOs to get a full 4 badges. If you only KO people without any. Badges increase the amount of garbage you send to people. 1 badge is 25% more, and it goes up from there, 4 being 100% more garbage. Here's another thing I did not know.
It's my motto.
Yep.
100% more garbage.
Here I am.
T-spins, clearing lines, even singles one after another, and having 3+ people targeting you all multiply the garbage you send. Like, that was a big revelation to me.
So combo is
yeah,
is
like
where
it
it's
is.
at.
There are cases where it's better to keep just clearing even single lines as fast as you can. That's more beneficial than trying to like get.
It also stalls out the incoming junk more.
Yes, I finally figured that out too. That the more you're clearing lines, the less the junk will build up on your. It also seems to have a mechanic where if you win a game, you'll have a high chance of being targeted by randos in your next game.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Because there is the random option, and so maybe that
It's like
feeds
not
into
quite
their
as
formula
random as it
of like
seems.
random with a preference towards
Winners.
Yeah.
Yes.
This game's fascinating.
I can't.
for being just like so
Yeah.
simple.
I can't stop playing that game. I have been spending
Yeah,
way
I
too much
ended up
time
playing
on
a
it.
bunch more too after that UPF.
I got a couple of second place finishes that were kind of
Oh.
infuriating. But yeah, reading these tips, like some people gave tips on UPF on Friday, like there's way more depth in that game than it seems at first glance. And I think it's really good.
I would love if it had some sort of update. You know, even if it's like a like, hey, we turn this into like a $10 game with some more features or something.
I would put money into
Skins.
it for more.
Skins.
Just some sort of progression.
Some
Skins.
alternate music would be nice, actually.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should just turn the music off.
What if it had all the Luminous skins?
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay. Can it also have
Yes.
Ritual Passion from Tetris Effect?
I don't see why not.
I would like some stuff to rank up and earn, like
Yeah.
like avatars or something like that.
Like a hat that goes on the top of your well, so when other
Yeah.
people see it, they see the hat.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Just call it Hatris.
Man, what if the long
Love it.
piece
I love it.
piece had a top hat on when it came down?
Yeah, each
What if-
piece has their own hat. Long piece definitely has a top hat. The zigzags got bowler caps.
Okay.
The block, he's got the like Russian furry
Okay.
hat.
Yeah.
Who am I
Sure.
missing? The T.
T
T's got a cowboy hat.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking something
Yeah.
that's perfect.
seems like something he would do.
And then is that it? Am I missing any? Z's that are they all have names.
The L's?
You guys see that thing that was going
It's fake.
around? Is that
Is
fake?
that fake?
That's
It's
not
fake.
right.
Somebody emailed
Yeah.
that in a couple weeks ago.
No,
I
that's
was
you.
not
You,
sure
you can
about
go
that.
look up a scan of the original
Yeah,
Nintendo
I
Tetris
did
manual,
that.
and it's not there.
I did that and it wasn't there, and I was
Yeah.
like, is that some other manual or
No,
is this?
that shit's fake.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
Good spoof.
Joe in California. What's up with fighting game mini games? From the destruction of a Lexus in Street Fighter II to the relatively
my
full-featured
Car.
motor combat kart racing in Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
These mini games have always felt like a bizarre tangent to their core games. I'd like to hear your thoughts as scientists on why these mini games have been a tradition for so long, as well as other notable examples.
Yeah, I'm
They're
trying to think
fun.
of
It's,
like
it's
how
kind
many
of two different things in a way.
like how many other genres do you see mini games like this, like from the arcade?
Are fighting games even doing this anymore, though?
Not so much.
Not as much, yeah, but
4 had one where you hit barrels that fell
They
off
add-
the roof.
yeah, they
the-
added that. Yeah,
But and that was almost like kind of a throwback to you
Yeah.
know what they've done previously, really. Yeah, but I mean, like Karate Champ had like the bulls and
Oh,
stuff.
totally,
like,
yeah.
like going back to the beginnings of fighting games, they
Mhm.
had like a break in the action, just to kind of vary it up.
A little thing in there, like if let's say your friend's way better at you and beats you all the time, but then you have this little mini game you can play once in a while. Maybe you're better than him at that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's just like a fun little.
Amadar has a bonus game where you have to guess where the pig's going.
Pig?
Galaga
Yeah, the pig.
has the
Yeah,
bonus
there's the
rounds.
challenging stages. They got those bonus rounds. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
totally.
Sometimes you
Okay.
want to test your might.
I don't frequently want to test my mind.
No.
Yeah.
Did MK2 have anything?
No.
It didn't, did it?
No.
It's because the game was so good you didn't want to stop playing it. That's why.
I see.
It's a good game.
It is good.
Well, it did have did 2 have the 50 wins like it had Pong, right? And then 3 had Galaga.
That had that weird weird stuff in it.
I never got that many wins.
Yeah.
I would love to see see anime fighters have wacky little games in there like that. You know, just every once in a while.
Yeah.
I feel like those games get silly in a way that some sort of weird mini game would fit.
Yeah, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon, or like that generation of Mortal Kombat games, were like different things.
That was weird,
You know?
'cause
That
they
was
were-
like they expanded. It was
Yeah.
almost like that was how they rode out. I've been thinking a lot about the generations of Mortal Kombat lately, and it's almost like they rode out kind of the end of the initial fighting game boom by having like really elaborate story modes, and then puzzle combat, which was like their take on Puzzle Fighter, and then a kart racer, and like all these other things.
That weird adventure mode.
Yeah, and all their weird story mode stuff, that they use that as a way to just like get more people into the game and into the story of the game and stuff. That, you know, that was their way of transitioning the game away from like, hey, this was in arcades, is by adding a ton of stuff.
Right. Tekken Ball.
Yeah, Tekken used to have some weird stuff.
But that wouldn't come up like mid, you know, it's like, hey, every
Right.
8th fight you're going to break barrels.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was just like, here's a separate option.
The guy yelling, "Oh my car," is one of the greatest voice samples of video game history.
Totally.
That's just in Final Fight. That's not even in Street Fighter.
It's not.
Wait,
Yeah.
did this
Right?
really lift it?
Isn't it the guy from, isn't that just in the Final
I
Fight?
think so.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because
God.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It just
I guess
ends
you're
with-
right.
Yeah.
Wait, God, you're right. They both had busting up car mini games, didn't they?
Totally.
Does Capcom
Well,
have
if
against
you
cars?
if you think about Street Fighter as a game that, or as if you think about Final Fight as a game that was almost called Street Fighter '89.
Yeah.
Wait, was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a
That
joke?
was
No.
the original pitch. Yeah.
Huh.
I still remember being a kid and finally figuring out that you have to go to the other side after a certain amount of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's revolutionary.
Changed the game.
Yep.
But then the SNES version of Final Fight was the one that said, "Oh my car," and the arcade said, "Oh my God."
Right.
Oh really?
Sure. Very scandalous.
Yes. of course.
Nintendo not into that God thing.
Mm-mm.
What was up with Fighting Street? Was that just a copyright thing?
I don't know. Yeah, they called it Fighting Street. It was Street
On-
Fighter
so-
1.
That was a CD version.
Yeah.
on the
It was only on CD.
wasn't it
Yeah.
The PC engine.
PC Engine, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Street Fighter 2099 or whatever it's
Yeah.
called?
What about
that
Street
game?
Fighter 2010, The Final Fight?
Yes.
Yeah. Like fucking string all these names together.
It's the best title ever made. All right. Speaking of Famicom games, Dan asks, recently at a local game store that sells Japanese games, I came across a Famicom cart version of the original Legend of Zelda. I thought that it only came out in Japan on the disc system. Do you happen to know the story behind this cart?
I think that just like in the US, some of those games came from disc to cart. I think that just happened there too.
Okay.
You know, some re-releases and some other cases like that. I suspect that that's how it went, or that was a bootleg. I don't know. But I feel like some disc games definitely appeared on cartridge over there.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I was mostly wondering if that could be a bootleg or.
I don't know off the top of my head what it would be, but my guess is that they did the like battery version of it that they did for the US and just put it out. But yeah,
That's fair. A couple more emails. Ryan from Brampton, Ontario.
B-Town.
Brampton.
These two songs have found their way back into my life via my niece's love of all things cartoon. They've been stuck in my head for the better part of 2 weeks and have now led me to ask you this. What's the better cartoon theme song, the original Pokemon theme or DuckTales?
Oh shit.
Fuck. This one, I heard original Pokemon theme, and my initial thought was there's not one they could list that's
Yeah.
better.
Oh.
But DuckTales.
DuckTales is pretty good, and I mean that's right in my nostalgia zone.
I didn't even watch the show really.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of DuckTales, but I think that theme is fucking strong.
It's
pretty
very
good.
good,
Real hard.
but so is that Pokemon.
Yeah, I would like people sing that song at karaoke
Gotta
and the
get
place
you.
goes wild. Like that's a song that kind of even non-gamers today still love that song.
I was
Like,
at a
it's-
theater audition one time. A guy didn't have a song prepared. He sang the Pokemon theme song.
Right.
And then he got the lead role in that show.
Was it
Fuck
Ash
that guy.
Ketchum?
No, well, fuck that guy.
Hey, man, he brought it.
Yeah, you're right.
Uh-huh.
Well, he,
Did he?
He brought
He had it in
something.
the back pocket the whole
He,
time.
he brought
It
something.
was a pocket Pokemon.
I remember being
It's got
fond of.
Pokemon in the tank.
Jesus.
Pocket.
Not to broaden the field here, but I
Monster.
remember being fond of the
Pocket.
Darkwing Duck theme.
What about Count Duckula?
Rescue Rangers, that also slaps.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
See, the
Rescue
thing
Rangers
about
is pretty good.
the thing about the DuckTales theme, it's good, it's catchy, but it's just a little too like, yeah, cool.
it's
It's like a little poppy,
Ooh.
just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
having a
yeah.
good time singing this. But Pokemon is just like
It's like an epic.
emotional.
I
I
feel
feel
it.
like Pokemon is like a theme, whereas the DuckTales theme song is just a good ass song.
Yeah,
So I think depending on what you're valuing there, you could probably go a different way on
the
it.
DuckTales theme doesn't make me want to cry.
Sometimes I want to listen to the
Yeah.
to the DuckTales music just because it's good.
Yeah, that
Um,
Moon song.
oh yeah, fuck, dude. Yeah, absolutely. But the
That's
Pokemon
right.
theme is not something I'm going to ever.
Because I don't want to cry in public.
Yeah.
That's why
And
I'm not
because
going to
Viridian,
it.
On the Road to Viridian City is just a better song.
Well, yeah.
The newer Pokemon themes are complete garbage.
Yeah.
It's
What about the Poke Rap? I mean,
Poke
okay.
Rap, timeless.
yeah.
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 Maybe that was the last email.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was.
Maybe it was.
Hmm.
We'll never know.
I'll read
Yeah.
one more real fast. From Pavel in Russia. I've been playing Sekiro and getting my ass handed to me by Snake Eyes Shirahagi.
Ha!
Is that familiar to
I
you?
just beat Snake Eyes yesterday.
Anyone?
Yes.
Finally, I had enough and decided that the only sensible thing to do in this situation was to throw the controller on the bed and have a tantrum. So I stomped the floor heel first. I immediately regretted this, although the pain helped me with my frustration, and I've been calm and collected ever since. Even after trying to beat Genichiro for 3 hours, the heel still hurts, but luckily there is no permanent damage. Have you ever hurt yourself or broken something due to frustration from playing a hard game?
Got dragon rot in that heel, son.
Gotta get that looked at.
I've inadvertently busted a TV.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had to bounce a thrown controller.
Okay.
Bounce.
Wait, was the throw intentional?
The throw was intentional.
Okay.
The throw was at the
Just
floor.
The impact was not.
Yeah, the impact. Yeah, the controller bounced and then hit the TV and then broke the TV and then I got a new TV. It was a lot, so it worked out.
I don't remember why, but I very specifically remember putting my Game Boy Color with Pokemon Gold in it on a table and going to look for a hammer to smash the Game Boy. Which is much more premeditated than anything, like any kind of raged controller throwing thing. This was like, okay, I need to go and do this and clean up the evidence. And just like, it was going to be a crime scene. But I couldn't find the hammer. And I was like, I'll just play more Pokemon.
Shouldn't you take the
instead.
rage out on something that's not expensive to replace?
Oh, you sound like my mom right now, Brad.
I mean, I'm not one to talk.
Go
I,
punch a pillow. Yeah, like that's gonna do anything.
I remember throwing my fancy red Xbox 360 controller trying to beat the last boss of Prototype because I was trying to review it before the embargo lifted and could
Yeah.
not beat that fucking boss. And my fancy Gears 2 Xbox controller
Oh,
had a little
no.
chip in it
Oh.
afterwards.
I don't know that I've had like mishaps and weird shit like that, but never out of just like rage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even mine was like I wasn't raging. I was just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like
More of a toss
It
than
was
a hurl.
a toss and then
Mm-hmm.
fucking broken ass TV. God damn it.
What era of TV are we talking? It's like a tube.
No, this is shit. Just like a few years ago.
I was going to say, like
It was-
last year.
Yeah, it was somewhat recent.
There you go. Tantrums for
But I
everybody.
got that nice TCL out of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta just take matters into your own hands,
yeah.
break a TV, so you got an excuse to buy a new
Fucking
one.
A.
Yeah, what's the saying? One TV closes, another TV
That's
opens.
exactly what they say.
Okay, there you go. All right. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address. Thanks for writing in to everyone. What is it? 16th of April.
Happy birthday, Goku.
Happy birthday to Goku.
Hope everyone
Yeah.
got their taxes done. If not,
Yes.
you're late.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I got to go update Origin and file my taxes.
God, I think like 4 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We passed E3. Is that right?
Oh,
2 months ish.
ow.
We're in it.
All right,
Consoles are getting talked about.
let's go.
Yeah.
We're making plans on the back
Microsoft
end.
announced their press conference for Sunday.
Oh.
Which I was not expecting.
Really? I missed that. Is that
Yeah.
out there?
Yeah, they announced it this morning
Oh
on
wow.
Twitter.
When is it?
Sunday, like 1 p.m.
Oh wow. Huh. Huh.
As I wrote in Slack, you might want to look at that before booking your flights.
I saw that, but I have to feign surprise to make it seem
Fair
like
enough.
breaking
No,
news.
great. No, I love it.
What does that do to Monday then? That makes Monday very uneventful all of a sudden, unless somebody else slides in.
A lot of time to get a steak sandwich.
A lot of. No, I thought you were going to
Okay.
say Stadia, not steak.
Nope.
But
But maybe they'll do something. I don't.
You
You
go
know
to that
yeah.
IHOP.
All right.
Yeah. Go to that IHOP.
Okay.
I went to that Chipotle a lot.
Yeah. There's a good downtown Chipotle there.
Yes.
All right. Well, weird. That was unexpected. So who knows what'll happen to those pre-show days
Yeah.
with press conferences.
Because
and
Bethesda is Sunday night.
Yeah.
I think we previously thought that would be our first thing. But now Microsoft's doing that.
Apparently Microsoft, and then that means Ubisoft is the only announced thing for that Monday.
Did they announce?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, we'll see, man. It's fucking weird.
Yep.
It's gonna be a weird year.
All right. Well, E3 cometh. The after show cometh sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner than E3.
Sooner than
Like
E3
in,
for
like
sure.
in a few minutes.
Can confirm that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, stay tuned if you're live for that. If you're not live, you missed the after show. Too bad.
Yeah, there's a separate podcast feed for it.
Giant
Bombcast
Bombcast
Aftermath.
Yeah. Catch it
Ask for it by name.
in your RSS mitt. It's like a baseball glove.
Okay. No, yeah.
Where you catch podcasts.
All these feeds.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.